This week we learned to care for hunky boys as we discuss the 2020 horror comedy Psycho Goreman. That's a comedy sound, I guess. We'll do the theme instead. Hello and welcome to the Blood of Bits Horror Show. I am your host, Eddie, the Axe Jefferson, and joining me as always, the guy who suggested this and my co-host, the Archduke of Nightmares, Tim Yoba. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm disappointed he didn't say one of the hunky boys, but okay, I'll take it. I'm good because I got to watch this movie again.
No, totally. Great fucking movie, and finally a non-problematic Yobo pick. It's incredible.
I really put some thought into this one. That's why.
It's a good one. It's a very good one. And joining us, though, Tim, because we are not alone on this intergalactic journey, speaking of problematic picks, is our friend Charlie. How you doing, buddy?
I'm actually confused. We weren't supposed to watch The Entity again?
No, this is our redemption episode, Charlie. Right? We're making up for The Entity with this great movie.
Oh, well, we got a problem then, because I watched The Entity like twice.
Makes sense.
Uh-oh.
Stop sending emails to Criterion. They're not going to put out an edition.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah, you got to get that one in 4K. I mean,
no movie needs a 4K release, let me tell you. I watched Dawn of the Dead the other day. I think it was like their Japanese 1080p or 4K or whatever the release that was a couple years ago. And I don't want to see crew members standing around in the background like I saw in several shots. So no movie needs 4K.
Yeah, sometimes it does distract.
If it's made in 4K. It's okay, but to go back and do something like, I bet you not only that, but the makeup and the special effects aren't going to hold up in fucking 4K.
No, balls to that. There was great special effects. It's real effects. But to see like, oh, hey, look, there's Tom Savini hanging out in the background with a couple of extras, because they didn't think they were on camera. Yeah.
No, it's the motorcycle gang just scoping out the mall first.
Okay.
From the inside.
So they're infiltrating. That makes sense.
I'll go with that.
So we are at week 2 of our 1-year anniversary. And Tim, we are just doing a month-long kind of celebration, like the victory lap, like we were talking about.
I was just going to say a victory lap, yes.
With our previous episode that came out last week, by the time this comes out, discussing Event Horizon. God damn it, the other one was Sam Neill. That's a Lovecraftian horror.
In the Mouth
Jurassic
of
Park.
In the Mouth of Madness. Yeah,
I was just say, wait a second. I guess we're doing Event Horizon next week. You got it mixed up.
We gotta do Event Horizon. No, we're not doing Event Horizon next week. We have another great selection next week that we're going to probably be teasing in this, actually. But first, Tim, Psycho Goreman, buddy, what's your history with this movie?
Well, it can't be much history because it came out, 2021, right?
Yes.
And I'm guessing this came out right before Corona hit and shut everything down?
So for the actual just history of the movie, it was set to premiere at South by Southwest back in 2020 in March. But because of COVID, they canceled South by Southwest. They shelved the screening or the film entirely. And then it was screened at Beyond Fest in Australia's Monster Fest in October of 2020. Then the rights of the film were purchased by Shudder, and it was released as a VOD in January of 2021. So this is hot off the presses, folks. 6 months old.
Okay, I think, I know we saw it together, right? Because you got the Blu-ray.
Yes, so I purchased the Blu-ray of it when it came out shortly after, and then ripped it. We did a live kind of viewing event with our streaming that we do sometimes on the weekends. But Tim, had you seen it before then?
No. How else was I going to see it? Because I think it's a shame that this movie's not getting as much attention as I think it deserves, because It's a great fucking movie.
Yeah, so I'll say this. I mean, we did kind of spoil that it is a horror comedy, but Tim, like you, I went into this completely blind. I just heard like metal space Viking horror movie.
Yeah,
and I
because
was like,
we were supposed to watch another movie that we were telling everybody for like a week. This is the movie we're going to watch on Friday night. Then when you got the DVD, you just like, no, we're watching this one.
yeah, exactly. I got this one and I was like, nope, never mind. Fuck it, changed my mind completely. In the first 10 minutes of it, I was like, never mind. We have to change directions entirely. So that's
I think
awesome.
this is a movie that all you need to do is watch the first 10 minutes of it, and you're going to know whether or not it's for you or not.
Exactly. The first 10 minutes of it are super duper tight. So Charlie, what about you? Did you see it? Were you there with us for the
I
first
was
live
actually.
stream?
Yeah, I was there when you guys live streamed it, and I watched it, and I remember enjoying it very much because it was quite a fun movie to watch. There were moments, like any good horror comedy, that make you uncomfortable for reasons as we'll get into, but it was like the
Not
fun...
lactation.
What, Tim?
Not lactation. Yes.
Yeah, I was actually outraged at the lack of erotic lactation. Tim, I show you a highbrow Italian cinema one time, and that's all you take away from it. You don't take away the necrophilia, nothing. Well, anyway, but it was such a fun movie. I was excited to watch it again, and I enjoyed it even more the second time around.
A little bit of the background of the actual movie. It was written and directed by one Stephen Kostansky, who is a relative newcomer, actually, to the Canada film circuit, I guess. We shouldn't say Hollywood, because this is a Canadian horror film. With all the frigs, you'll probably figure that out pretty quickly. But he had previously done a horror movie that is extremely divisive that I fucking love, which is The Void. So if you haven't seen that one, you should definitely dip into that.
Which one is that? Give me a brief rundown.
So The Void, I don't want to spoil a lot of it, though. Cult, they
Hospital?
are all... Yes.
Okay,
Cult,
done.
hospital,
Okay, yes. Oh,
triangle.
yeah, well. Why? People didn't like that movie?
Yeah, that one's sitting... Like, it's funny, if you go look at both of these movies on like Metacritic or Rotten Tomatoes, Psycho Goreman is hanging like right around the 80% mark.
Which is disgusting. It should be higher.
Yeah. Where the
Give it
Void...
time. You know what? This is going to be a movie. I'm going to call it right now. This is a movie in like maybe 10 or 15 years that's just going to be like having all these different re-releases by Anchor or whoever the fuck is around by then.
Oh, I hope so. I
think you're right, Tim. But The Void is only hanging around like 50%, which is insane to me. I think it might have actually been because of the marketing. They were like really pushing that it was the executive producer of The Witch that made it, and it is nothing like The Witch.
Yeah, it's actually exciting.
Ooh, shots fired at The Witch.
Come on,
so,
for real?
And I'll be honest with you, like, coming off of COVID, like coming off of fucking hell year of 2020, like, for me personally, this kind of movie, Psycho Goreman, was so refreshing to hit into, right? We had, like, so much stuff like Hereditary and Midsommar, and a lot of these things that are very much about dealing with, like, loss and mental illness, and that's kind of been a lot of what modern horror has been hitting on. And then to just be like, nah, fuck that, Space Vikings, deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
It hit such a spot that I was just like, didn't know I needed it to hit.
And it does it perfectly. It doesn't go too far overboard, and it walks the line at a couple of things. I could easily see that a lot of the things that I love in this movie, that if some other movie was doing it, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
But it works.
It does walk the line a few times. And it, Tim, I will say this is not universally loved. So I don't have a theme song or a fun, catchy title for this segment, but I found a 1/2 star review for Psycho Goreman on Letterboxd.
Psycho Reviews.
Psycho Reviews. And Tim, I'm going to just read this review to you, and I just want to get your response, okay? 1/2 out of 5 stars. This is by Designated Desi on Letterboxd. Quite possibly the worst movie ever made. The little girl's overacting was painful, and the bad dialogue tried really hard to get a few cheap laughs. The movie was bad at intentionally being a bad movie. I'm surprised by the amount of good reviews this got. I couldn't wait until it ended.
Is that a hit?
Moron. For real. For real.
Yeah.
Who is the star of this movie? It's that little girl.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, we can get into the cast here. So, first of all, like the two protagonists, if you could even say that, you've got Nita Josie Hannah, who plays Mimi, the precocious with a capital P young lady.
Played perfectly, though.
Played very well. Yeah, absolutely. It's such a difficult thing because you could tell that it was written, like this was written by a 40-year-old guy with 40-year-old guy jokes that had to be delivered by like a 10-year-old girl. So it is over the top and it is cheesy, but it comes off to me as very campy, the performance, right? Like it knows what it's going for.
Yes, exactly. And it's one of those things again, like all little kids are psychopaths, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
And she's just like turned it up a notch. But
yeah.
I could easily see this happening to how old are they supposed to be? Like 12, 13 years old, maybe?
They never really specify it in the movie, but yeah, she's right around that age. You can tell.
Got that. And guess what? Now you got a Psycho Goreman, you got a Golem, you got whatever race or religion your thing is. That way you got a fucking slave that's going to do whatever you want. See what you would have done.
That's a very good point. Her counterpart, her older brother, who plays the bitch-ass Luke, Owen Meyer. And wow. Like, I don't know. I can't say I coined the phrase bitch ass, but I've certainly popularized it in recent internet history. But this fucking dude comes off. God, I wanted to slap him. Repeatedly.
Oh my God, Eddie, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Because you just triggered something in my mind. Every time I watch this movie, I kept looking at that kid and I'm like, he looks like somebody. He looks like he could play like the young version of this fucking person in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't figure out who it was. But as soon as you said bitch ass and want to smack him in the face, I figured out Charlie Kirk.
Oh, shit, you're right. God damn it.
You know what? Everybody needs an origin story. That's what it is.
Yeah. Same size head, too. Just put it on an adult body. You got Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, and you'll forgive me for not going over these actors' previous credits because largely they don't have anything going on. All of these people are pretty much newcomers to it. Then we've got 2 credits for Psycho Goreman for PG. We've got a Matthew Nienaber, who actually did the physical acting, and then a Stephen Valhos, who did the voice work. Now, fun fact with poor Matthew here. Tim, how long do you think it took for this dude to get into this makeup every day?
I'm going to have to say it had to be at least 8 to 9 hours.
Okay, Charlie?
I'm going to say, yeah, I'm going to say more than that. I'm going to say in and out, I'd say probably 14 hours total.
Total? Well, you know what, Charlie? You nailed it, buddy. 7 fucking hours when he showed up and 7 hours to get it removed when he left because a lot of the prosthetics and everything they don't want to damage.
Well, you didn't tell me we're combining the time between putting it on and taking it off.
Okay, but you still didn't say 7, Tim.
I might have.
I can do the math in my own head, dog. Like, that's not a problem. Yeah, he spent so much time in the costume that people, like, would see him walking around out of makeup and out of the costume and be like, who's this fucking guy? And they called security on him.
So wait, did they have a special attachment so he could just like pee in that thing? Because that had to be a bitch.
Oh, he had to have. I mean
you got to suffer for your art.
That's true. Look, man, exactly. If you're going to be making this, right, you look at like Taxi Driver, right? The shit that Pacino put himself through, learned how to drive a taxi.
You mean De Niro?
De Niro. Sorry. God damn it.
He does that shit all the time.
I do this all the time. It's because
I'm thinking to myself, I'm like,
Gene Kelly.
God damn it. Gene Kelly, yeah. No, the shit that De Niro put himself, that raging bull, again, you know, the gaining the weight, the losing the weight.
He was Christian Bale before Christian Bale.
He really was, yeah. This dude, yeah, I don't know, he probably had some sort of a weird bladder that his dick was hooked up to. God, if he had to shit, I don't even want to know. That seems like an ordeal with this costume.
That it just explains why Psycho Goreman is just such an asshole all the time. He can't shit, he can't pee, he probably can't even eat.
Oh, he eats. We see that. Then we cut to Adam Brooks, who plays the dad, Greg, secretly the hero of the movie.
You know,
Yes, he is.
as much as I hate to admit it, I think he might be one of my favorite characters in the movie.
He's not, like, he doesn't play a particularly heroic dude, but he's very relatable. I'll put it that way.
Let's put it this way. I watch this for my wife. I'm getting some sideways looks.
Oh, really?
I'm glad you're not the only one who said that, Tim. Thank you.
Oh, God. And then, yeah, a lot of other people. The mom was played by Alexis Karahansi. Pandora by Christian McCulloch. That was the Pandora's the crazy angel lady. And then everybody else was just a bunch of weird voices. So,
What about the cops?
who
Also, I think this might be also one of my all-time favorite. Do you call this guy a monster? Well, we'll get to it.
It's a good one. So yeah, you had Robert Homer, who played Vince the cop, and then Rick Amsbury, who played Dennis. Dennis was the cop that didn't get transformed. So
Okay, yes.
yeah, Vince the cop.
Everybody
holy
stop
shit.
this fucking podcast and watch the movie.
Please.
Yeah,
It's so fucking good.
exactly. And you know what?
Come back and listen to us after you watch it. Don't just stop it. But
You don't. Yeah, actually listen to the podcast too. Like everybody, you know what? That's a very good point, Tim. Everybody says like, look, stop the podcast and go watch. Nobody ever says then come back and listen to the podcast after you're done.
Well, Tim or Eddie, we've been meaning to tell you.
Yeah, everybody just stops, watches the movie, and then they don't come back.
Exactly.
Like, what the
cracked
fuck could they
code.
say?
That's how we're gonna get. We're already in the top 5%. That's how we're gonna break the top 3%.
That's true. Then we just need to get into the 1%. Then all of those protesters can hate us. So yeah, that's about it. I mean, there's not really a lot of other production stuff behind the scenes that you can find out there.
Anything
Like,
on? I know I didn't do any research, so I shouldn't be asking. But what about the people who did the makeup and the special effects?
So the effects crew that did it, I had the name of them written down because, I mean, really, if you're talking about the star of the show, it's the special effects people. So you have Maddie Stiles that did the costume design,
Mm-hmm.
Nicole Rodriguez and Jen Tate who did the makeup work. So, I mean, phenomenal jobs by them. And then visual
Yeah,
effects.
because don't forget, they had to do that same fucking shit for 14 hours a day too, just like him.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, that's exactly true. Visual effects, by the way, was headed off by this guy, Michael Allen, who you might recognize from Skyfall, Rogue One, the 2012 Total Recall. I mean,
Wow.
yeah, person.
I will forgive him the recall for the Rogue One. It evens the scale out.
Yeah, person knows their shit. And I love, I have to give a special shout out here really quickly to Rufio Lue, who is a stunt performer.
Wait, his name is Rufio?
Yes.
Oof,
Did you-
damn, he
did
must
you-
have a tough time in the bar.
Are you sure you didn't like grow up with this guy, Tim? Because I've heard a lot of your friends' names.
So, and I'll get back to Rufio here toward the end of the movie because there's a very good stunt cut that's him. It's the most ridiculous stunt work I've seen, but I fucking love it. So yeah, I think other than that, we can go ahead and get to the story. What of it there is.
Just enough? All we need?
So I think if you've never watched this, what I would say is
Stop the podcast.
watch it, and then come back and listen to the podcast because I'm going to make a comparison. We have in Psycho Goreman the cybernetic ghost of Christmas past from the future from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. When this dude goes off on his jags and his rants about his backstory, because the universe of this movie is so fleshed out and so lived in The opening text scrawl, and I'll do my best to just summarize it, right? Many moons ago on Gygax. By the way, Gygax, if you look it up, you can get the trivia on this one, but I didn't need to. That's the man who invented Dungeons and Dragons, Gary Gygax.
Wow. Okay, inside joke.
Yeah. Nerd joke. There's so many of them in this, too. Anyhow, on the planet Gygax, a nameless evil ruled. The forces of light rose against it, defeated it, and imprisoned it. And now we cut to... And if you'll miss it, Tim, this is a period piece.
I was going to ask that.
Yeah. So this is set in the 1990s, and it is referenced one time exactly. Otherwise, like, besides, because it's Canada.
Holy fucking shit, that's right. There's not even like a cell phone or anything like anybody even talking about why they can't get cell phone reception to take videos.
Exactly. And plus, this is Canada, so it's like, who knows? Maybe they still don't have cell phones.
Do they have cell phones up there? Come on, they got to have them by now, right?
I don't know. They had an ad for a guy selling denim, and I don't feel like you need to sell denim particularly hard in Canada.
Okay, I got a great idea. When they finally do get cell phones in Canada, I'm going to make a denim phone cover.
Oh, shit. Just like a denim iPhone case.
Yep, that's it.
You know what?
That's how Tim became a millionaire.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Well, a million loonies.
Yeah, loonies and toonies. They got fucking cartoon money up there. So we do know people that can
Eddie's
work.
Just shitting on everybody else's currency. Damn, man.
Well, the first one was before we were recording, and it was just that was more of a sexist joke than a currency joke. I said I don't respect the. I said if I alien. Okay, so thanks, Tim. 3 layers to get to the joke. I made a joke on Twitter because somebody was talking about domestic abuse in the UK, and I said, "What? England lost?" Which now this joke is 2 weeks old. So
well, you didn't have to tell it.
No,
you could have left something to the imagination, man.
No, it's fine. So we were talking about that, and Tim's like, you know what? Fuck everybody in the UK. We don't want their money. So you actually started this one, Tim. And then I pointed out I don't respect their money because there's a woman on it. I was making a very sexist joke.
But a very valid point.
But a very valid... No.
Bitcoin doesn't have a woman on it, right?
No, I think it's got a Sigma male on it. Patreon.com/bloodybits, by the way. You know what?
We're going to take Bitcoin and Dogecoin or whatever the fuck that other one is.
No, I'm not going to take...
Yobocoin?
I'm not taking any of that shit.
I'm going to start my own currency. Why not?
Crypto? You're going to start your own crypto?
Why not? Yobo coins.
Yeah, all you have to do is PayPal Tim some money, and he'll give you the coins. He doesn't understand how blockchain technology or encryption works, but he'll do it.
Well, speaking about blockchains, have you seen that there's some fucking company, some scientist in South Korea who invented a toilet bowl that when people take a dump in it, it turns it into electricity?
What?
And you get paid for taking a dump into it, but they're paying you with like a cryptocurrency that you can only use in that building's cafeteria to buy bananas, instant noodles, peanuts,
corn.
And I'm thinking, holy shit, how genius is that? You can only buy shit that's going to make you shit. The more you shit, the more coins you get to buy stuff that makes you shit.
We can finally get paid for our favorite pastime. Am I right, guys?
We've finally created a perpetual motion device.
Yeah, that's it, right?
Just powered by bowel movements. And Tim, I would say that is more of a craptocurrency.
Oh, motherfucker.
Ladies and gentlemen. So we cut to, our 2 main protagonists, and they're playing Crazy Ball. So Crazy Ball it's calvinball, right? Mm-hmm. Effectively, you grab a little like a dodgeball looking thing, throw it as far as you can, then you have to run past the other person to go get the ball that they threw, and then you just keep throwing the ball at each other as hard as you can. And we've determined that the stakes on this one is that the winner is the champion of the universe, and the loser must be buried alive. So those are some stakes, man. They're playing it. They're having a good time running, chasing each other. And we get some very like epic shots and cuts and music. And then, they do this great shot that's zoomed out slightly without the music. And it just looks like two kids just like playing around like a bunch of assholes, like yelling about rules.
Mm-hmm.
So Luke manages like a 5-point butt bonus shot when he smacks her in the ass, Mimi, in the ass with the ball. But then they both throw the ball. The balls collide in the air. And this is immediately a problem. Because this puts us into a sudden death scenario.
Switcheroo.
The switcheroo, yep. Where you switch your points with your opponent +1. Or no, you absorb all of your opponent's points +1. It doesn't matter.
No, I think what it is I think you get all the points that you need to win +1.
Okay, so it's effectively it's like the I win button. And what you have to do at this point is you run at the other person, and the first person to punch the other person wins. Which, like, what? Okay, that's a great rule. So they run at each other, and Mimi just punches her brother Luke and wins. So now we cut to, it's nighttime, and Luke is digging his own grave. And I remember when we were watching this in the stream, I have long since said, if you ever see anybody digging at night, leave and then call the police.
Really? You want to get at that hassle of being a witness?
Anonymous tip to the police, let's say.
Okay. You know what? From listening to a lot of true crime podcasts, Tim, there are more people out and about at night who witness people digging holes than you would imagine. Like, every fucking time I turn around, they're like, and then there were at least 2 witnesses. And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? At 3 a.m.?
Yeah, but those are meth heads looking for meth, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. There's more people watching you than you think.
Oh, that was a Breaking Bad thing when they were trying to break into the meth den to steal back their meth.
That's right. Yeah, and they couldn't get.
Yeah,
They just started digging a hole in the front yard, and they both came out.
Yeah, he just started digging, and he said, "Yeah, Dave said it's buried here." And the guy's like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, here, grab a shovel." Meth heads love teamwork. I'll tell you that much, for sure. So no, he's digging his own grave and dings the old shovel into something. Scrapes away a little bit of the loose dirt at the bottom of there, and we find the stone from Wishmaster. It's this nice big red glowy ruby-looking stone. And he goes
first he thought it was his grandmother too.
Well, yeah, he's like, "Oh shit, we dug up grandma." So there might be some secrets in this family that we need to further investigate.
Definitely, especially because of what Mimi says later about grandma.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
Well, what she knocks about grandma.
I know.
So I love that he sees it and he's like, "Oh, this is cool." I mean, he's like, "Yeah, move, loser. I won. I'm the champion. So whatever the fuck you found down there that's cool, I get it." And he just kind of like bitches out. He's like, "All right, I guess I did lose." And she uncovers a little more of it, and there's all these little like indentations and runes that are surrounding it. And she does
looks
this
like a game of fucking Simon.
Yeah, and she does like a little weird game of Simon thing with it, where she's kind of booping it and making like a dumb little kid's rhyming thing. But first try, she gets the combo right. The stone pops out. She snags it, gets out of there because the ground starts a rumbling. Now, and this is such a kid move. It's like, oh shit, mom and dad are going to catch us. Not like, what the fuck's going on? We better get some help. Like, shit, they're going to catch us. We better bury this shit.
We just opened up the gates of hell, maybe.
Yeah. And it takes them no time, by the way, to fill the hole back. And this hole is a substantial hole.
I don't think this is the first time that they've been digging holes. Because I think later on, the parents don't freak out as much as they should.
They're quite impressed, actually.
Hole dug in that fucking backyard.
Mm-hmm.
It is good for catching the hobos, though.
Yeah, it's a good point. Dig a hole, you stick some sticks sticking up over there, you cover it with a little piece of tarp and some, little loose dirt on there.
Put some night train underneath it, that's it. When the hobo knocks a stick over, he goes right in the pit.
That's how you catch Charlie.
There you go, man. Psycho Goreman can build an army, but you can build an army doing that too.
An army of the homeless.
They don't need to eat
an
much.
Army of the night train.
Oh.
Let me tell you, you've never seen more motivated people when they are under the influence of meth and night train.
So,
wait,
Mom,
do you do meth and drink night train at the same time?
Not personally, no.
Yeah, it's called the Sacramento Speedball.
Yeah, Tim, that hasn't made its way east yet?
Not yet. I'm waiting.
So Mom comes out, and Mom's like, what the fuck are you doing out here? They're like, nothing. Which immediately, there's a problem. She's like, yeah, it's 9 p.m., right? Or no, she asks them, what time is it? They both say 9. And she's like, well, what happens at 9? We got to go to bed. All right, well, I guess we'll get back to your hijinks a little bit later. So now we cut to Luke being tucked in. And I think he's like, 12 in this maybe? Because he's older than Mimi.
Yes.
He's getting tucked in, and he just asks his dad. He's like, hey, Dad, this whole monsters thing, that we've all been thinking about recently, are they, real or what? And his dad, gets all philosophical on him real quick. He's like, I mean, actually, if you think about it, humans, in a way, are the real monsters.
But when he says it too, he doesn't say it philosophically. He just says it like a loser dad would say, which, it kind of gives it away. His character, right off the bat, he's just kind of like, well, son. And you're like, oh, this fucking guy.
No, I think he just saw that line delivered on TV. Maybe within 24 hours. And he's like, oh, yeah, I got to use this again. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that. There's a joke about that in Family Guy, where Peter's watching some Talking Heads show, and they're reviewing a book, and one of the guys says, yeah, I found the book to be shallow and pedantic. And then he just says, shallow and pedantic. Then they go to have dinner. He's in Lois, the wife asks him, how was the meatloaf? And he's like, well, frankly, Lois, I found it shallow and pedantic. So maybe that's the dad in this. He just kind of heard someone say humans are the real monsters on some trailer for a movie.
I guarantee he saw it on TV.
Yeah. And the mom's
loves his TV, right?
Yeah, I get it. And the mom just looks at him like, you dumb shit. And she looks at the kid, she's like, no, there's no monsters. Very matter of fact. So then she notices he's got a giant gash on his forehead. And she's like, by the way, you have this giant cut on your forehead. What the fuck is that about? Nothing. I fell down some stairs or something.
Doesn't she call him out for losing at Crazy Ball?
Yeah. It's like, oh, you lost at Crazy Ball, huh? Yeah. All right, well, now we're going to go talk to your sister, because clearly she's got more personality than you. So we get the meeting.
She's going to get this movie going.
She does. And she jump starts it in this scene, man. Because they go to her and they're like, look, we know you're abusing your older brother. Can you chill on that for a second? And she's like, yeah. By the way, all this monster talk, what's going on with all this monster talk? Are they real? And they're like, no, what do you guys keep asking us about monsters? No, of course not. She's like, okay, cool. She's like, hey, Mom. It's like, what? If monsters are real, can you tell him to kill Luke first? Because he sucks.
I love it. She thinks she's also going to die, right? But she wants to know that her brother's dead before she is.
Well, yeah, and it might afford her an opportunity to get out.
Exactly, Tim, because you're only... What is it? You're only as good as the slowest person. So as long as you can outrun him, you're fine.
Well, yeah, it's the old, you don't have to outrun the cheetah, you have to outrun Hank.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do. So that night, both kids wake up because they hear something outside that startles them. And they begin this kind of a cool little move that they do with this, is that for some reason the kids know Morse code. Not sure why. Maybe that's a thing you need for survival in the 1990s in Canada.
No cell phones.
True.
No texting, right?
True. Maybe they had walkie-talkies that you could beep with. So they're knocking back and forth, saying, hey, did you hear that noise? What was that? And he says, I think we woke up Grandma. And I'm like, what? Woke up Grandma?
He's convinced that Grandma's buried in this fucking backyard. How does he have this in his head?
look, he's afraid of monsters. Grandma might be buried in the backyard. And then I love that Mimi reassures him.
Did he go to Grandma's funeral and see them putting her in the fucking ground in the cemetery?
I mean, you're assuming that, Tim. Grandma might be buried in the backyard.
Look, who knows what they do up in Canada?
Yeah, exactly. But then Mimi reassures him. She's like, no, remember I told you, Grandma's going to be in hell for all of eternity. It's cool. I'm like, what the fuck did Grandma do? Like,
she'll never touch you again. Don't worry.
I guess, man. So then the cool red stone just starts like pulsing. And Mimi's like, what the fuck?
That would explain the husband, right? Grandma's obviously the mother of the father, not the mother.
Oh, maybe. Or maybe it is the mother of the mother, and she's like the mother up to 200%.
She's so just awful.
A little more crazy with that. Because the dad, like, taken to his heights would just be a sloth.
Well, I don't know, because, I mean, the dad says some stuff later about his parents, too, and they're not exactly soft on him.
Yeah, that's true. And he does have an interesting conversation at dinner time that we'll have to get into.
Mm-hmm.
So then, as the stone's pulsing, Mimi's looking at it like, what the fuck's going on? And then we hear another knock. And it's the mom knocking in Morse code, like, just go to sleep. Just shut the fuck up. Go to sleep.
Yeah, so she heard the whole thing, and she heard her two kids talking about, don't worry, Grandma's in hell burning for all of eternity.
Yeah, and she didn't seek to, like, correct them. She didn't seek to tell the kids, like, you didn't
Stop
wake
it
up
right
Grandma.
now.
Is there, like, a prequel to Psycho Goreman where, like, it's some sort of a deadite scenario with Grandma, that she's in some old well that they covered over in the backyard?
And that's why Mimi's kind of blasé about finding shit in the backyard.
Yeah, and about just life and death in general, and monsters.
She's seen it all.
Yep. So we scan outside real quick, and we see a hand emerge from the ground whence they reburied whatever was under there. And the next morning, we cut to the tetanus factory, where a couple of hobos have broke in. They're looking for a night train and some meth.
What did they just rob? Did they rob a church or a fucking, like, antique store?
I think they robbed an old man, because they talk about how an old man was putting up a fight for his wedding photo.
Yeah.
And then I think it's implied that they killed him.
Yeah, they say that they killed him.
Because one of them just holds up my wife's grandma and grandpa's photo that they sent us years ago that we never hung up because it's creepy. And he's like, it's got a nice frame on it. And the guy's like, yeah, it doesn't have a nice frame any longer.
Did they send it with a nice frame, or was it just a photo?
It was framed.
Did you use the frame for something else, or you just have it completely put away?
That's completely put away.
Okay.
They would not approve of most of the activities in this house, so I think it's, I don't know, maybe we need like a weird shame closet where we can put that kind of shit. You know what I mean? You put it in there where you're like, Grandma can't see from here. I don't know. I don't need judgmental looking eyes anywhere.
Along with your ventriloquist dummy.
Oh, he doesn't judge anything I do.
You say that, but one day you're going to find out.
That's right. If that dummy could talk.
Yeah. Then I'd have a third chair on the podcast, finally. So, yeah, they're just like, just chucks this framed photo of this old couple that it was probably a prop at a Sears or something before they were trying to advertise the photo lab or whatever.
Yeah, because they stole like the most random fucking shit.
Yeah, one guy's got like a
this old man's house.
One guy's got like the wrong goblet from Indiana Jones. Like he chose poorly.
No, I think it's the right one because it's just a fucking goblet. There's not any rubies or diamonds on it, right?
But it wasn't made out of wood, Tim. It was metal. We all know Jesus was a carpenter.
I don't know, man. I think he did choose poorly because I think he met the exact same fate as Donovan.
Pretty fucking much, because then PG steps in, our hero, and they're like, who the fuck are you? Because he's holding up, he caught the framed photo that was thrown back at him, and he shits on them. He's like, listen to this primitive language. And their leader of the group He stands up. He's like, "Hey, who's this dickless shit?"
Hey man, we already killed somebody tonight. We're not afraid to do it again. I'm like, really? That's what you're gonna lead with?
Hey, don't admit to a crime immediately.
Well, all right, you know what? Let's give it to him, Eddie. This guy is obviously he's not a cop. So
yeah, true.
I mean,
at this point, it's just entrapment, right?
Yeah. I mean, come on, Tim. These guys aren't exactly like brilliant fucking criminals either.
Yeah,
that's true. They sold a picture frame and a fucking wooden goblet.
I mean, it could be Maniac Cop. Kind of has that kind of vibe a little bit until he steps out of the shadows.
Oh shit! That's how you stop Psycho Goreman, Maniac Cop.
Oh, I'd love to see that crossover. Nah,
they become roommates.
Oh yeah, you know you're the messy one, and I'm the shut up. Yeah, so I love it. He backhands their leader like a good 20 feet across the room, slams him into a fucking support beam for the tetanus factory, then does the cool like force hold thing on the other two guys and picks them up, tells them like, "Oh God, you guys are made out of flesh, man. Flesh is weak." And then just paw slaps their fucking heads off.
And it's about that moment you realize what kind of movie you're watching, and you're just like, all right, I'm down for this shit.
Yeah, because in the beginning, when you just see the kids fucking around, you're like, okay, what is this? This is going to be like a Monster Squad. This is going to be like a E.T., an Encino Man.
Oh, this is no E.T.
No, it's a PG.
Although PG does phone home.
Eventually, yeah.
Oh, shit.
And so then the leader guy's like, "Look, man, I saw what you just did to them guys, and I don't want to die." And PG's like, "All right, cool. You don't got to die then. You're going to live forever."
He Lazarus this motherfucker. That's
does.
it.
He freezes the dude over in eternal torture.
With his eyes just rolling up in his fucking...
Yeah.
Like a slot machine.
Yeah, they just keep spinning around and never stopping. Like, some shit's going on with this dude's life now. It's not going well. So we got to the next morning, and we see this massive hole in the backyard now. And the whole family's looking down like, okay, wait a minute. Did Grandma get out? What's going on here?
God damn it.
And they're all like, you kids... the dad's like, first of all, I'm impressed. Okay?
Yeah. Second of all, you should never have done this.
Yeah. I mean, this was a bad idea. I'm impressed, but this is bad. And now someone's going to have to fill this shit back in. And I love they're like, all right, cool, let's vote on it. I think Dad should do it. And then everybody else is like, yeah, Dad should do it. He's like, fuck. Okay, well then, since I'm your leader, I'm going to go ahead and say that we should all share the effort. And they're like, nah, that's not actually how this works. We voted, you do it. Like,
plus, doesn't he have a line where he says some wino could try to do an Evel Knievel over the fucking hole and fall in?
That's how he explains the claw marks pulling that Psycho Goreman.
Oh shit, that's right. The wino fell in. See, I was thinking it was a hobo. I'm sorry, it was a wino.
You thought a wino dug a hole, fell into it.
I could see a hobo doing it. Hobos, they might be, spry because they got to jump on it for trains. But a wino? No way.
Yeah. No, winos are more like the guy outside of the Silver Shamrock factory. Like, they're more like a lost their will to live.
They're all
not
talk, no
jump
action.
Over a fucking manhole.
Yeah. So they vote, Dad, you got to fill it back in. So Dad's like, all right, cool. And he gets like one shovel full of dirt. And he's like, oh, fuck, my hand. Well, shit. And at first I thought it was going to be a goof. He's like, yeah, ow, my hand. Now you kids fill this fucking thing back in. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But no, he doesn't. He just kind of bitches out on the work.
Well, no, what's even funnier is as soon as he says it, the wife goes, that soon?
Yeah. It's like, really?
And it's sad because she totally was just like, uh-huh.
Yeah, she's been here before.
Yeah, exactly. That line, that quick or that soon, whatever it was. She's seen this a billion fucking times before, but now he's really pushing it.
Let's just say that she hasn't, saying that soon isn't something that she says, every couple of weeks. She probably says it once a day.
Or at least every nighttime in bed.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think she's getting her back blown out by old Greg here. So,
But I mean, she did at
He
least
kind of looks
twice.
like Bob Odenkirk, though, doesn't he, with the mustache and beard?
I mean, I could follow that. He looks to me kind of like more like a deflated Ethan Suplee from My Name Is Earl, a little bit.
Okay, all right. Maybe not all the way deflated.
Yeah, just mostly. So the kids are like, all right, well, we got to go to school, I guess. And on the way to school, they're having their discussion like, look, we clearly cannot call the cops. Right? Like,
Well, no, what does she say? He goes, shouldn't we call the cops? And she goes, no. What's a cop going to do against that? And I don't trust cops.
Mm-hmm. She says, I never trusted cops.
Yeah.
Okay, not her first run-in with the law.
Yeah. Well, plus she just found that big red fucking gemstone. You call the cops, they're going to be like, hey, somebody's looking for this thing. You're never going to see that again.
No, come on. That was her grandma's necklace.
Oh, don't even bring Grandma up when you talk to the cops.
Oh, that's true. That's why she's buried in the backyard.
Grandma?
They're still collecting those Social Security checks or whatever it is they have in Canada.
Hey, no wonder the dad doesn't have to work. Holy shit, it all adds up. So then we get to school.
He's on disability because of his hand.
Yeah, his fucking hand. Oh, and how this ends up with the hand, too, is so good. So then we get to school, and our dreamboat for the movie, Alistair, shows up. And the note that I have is, who names their kid Alistair?
Well, I mean, it is Canada, and I have seen more, like, British men named Alistair than I have American men, so it makes sense.
Yeah,
And you guys are pretty fucking quiet.
But you know what? This kid's he's cool enough and good looking enough that he'll be able to get over it being called Alistair. Somebody's going to come up with a cool nickname for him, like maybe like Brainiac or something like that.
Yeah. So Mimi's flirting with him a little bit. You know, like, hey, what's going on, buddy? Why don't we beat the shit out of Luke here and get the fuck out of here? Then school bell rings. She grabs Luke's math homework and just fucking hucks it and runs off.
My math!
I'm like, what a crazy motherfucker.
Yeah,
like,
I think there's no point in this movie where she's not a almost fucking complete psychopath, right? She could give the Joker a run. The Joker would break up with her in a relationship.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
She would never let him.
So then now we go back home, right? It's nighttime. They're like, all right, we got to do some investigation here. They pull out their little CSI kit. You know, they're doing the whole Hardy Boys thing. And they notice that the fence around their property has a big fucking hole ripped through it.
Why the fuck did they not see that morning in the light of day, but they could see it way better in the pitch black night?
Don't nitpick, Charlie. It's a funny movie.
Maybe they were playing it off in the daytime. Maybe they were like, I'm not going to look over there. Mom and Dad will notice it.
Well, there's a big fucking hole in the ground, right? That's where your attention's going to be. You're not going to be looking around the rest of the yard.
That's the thing. Tim actually makes a really good point there, because how obvious would it have been during the day to be like, what are these claw marks? Hey, look at these footprints. Our fence is gone. And then during the day, they're going to follow it. That's what you logically would do. I like that they establish right off the bat that, like, the mom's oblivious, the dad's an idiot, and the kids are like, we just don't want to get caught doing what we did.
Exactly. Like, the kid's entire motive is self-serving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they track the footprints down to
Another
the
great
tetanus.
line is when the son says, look, these footprints look like they're pretty regular. It doesn't look like a wino to me. And she says, Dad, Dad's always wrong.
How often are they tracking down winos, too? Is this a, like, surviving the game family? What's going on?
Grandma's buried in the backyard, Nothing faces these kids. You got a little psychopath. It's the first... You don't think that there's been some fucking dead pigeons popping up around the neighborhood with her?
Wait,
she moved in?
Wait a minute, Eddie. You make a good point. Mm-hmm. Maybe they are hunting winos because the dad, instead of saying man is the most dangerous game, said that man is the real monster. Oh,
shit. They're collecting winos and killing them for the insurance money.
Yeah.
or the experience.
And he's training the children to look at winos as being subhuman monsters. Oh, this makes
But
so
who's
much
the real
sense.
monster?
Now look, you know what this is? It's like, what the fuck was that? The movie that could have been really good, Frailty, where the dad
with Bill Paxton.
Yeah, where the dads like have these holy instruments that we have to use to kill demons. Maybe this is like a Frailty family. But dad's like, oh, those winos, they keep.
Holy shit, that's right. Maybe that's why he's so like fucking lazy and shit like that, because he's like the leader of the fucking cult.
There you go.
And this is the last sister wife who hasn't left him.
It all adds. Maybe that's why he's so fucking tired. He's got to make his rounds to all the sister wives.
If that was true, he wouldn't care if his wrist hurt.
Good point. He wouldn't give a fuck about that, and he'd have a better TV, I have to assume. So
in at least one of the houses.
Yeah. So they tracked the footprints down to the old tetanus factory.
Yeah, wait, hold on. Sorry, I don't want to derail the show, but in a situation like the sister wife things where they have like the 3 houses, which one gets the biggest TV? Do they all have the same size TV? Is it the same year, the same model? Is it all up to date with the HDMI 2.1? What's going on?
I think that's how you establish who the favorite wife is.
That's a dominance thing, right?
Yeah.
The biggest TV. That's the number one sister wife.
Is it? Because that's the house you want to hang out at more, Tim. The one with the biggest TV.
Hell yeah, come on.
What about if one of them's got a pool? You see what I mean? There's a lot of angles you could take with this.
But you know what? That's what you do. That's what you do. You spread the amenities out evenly.
See, there
that's right.
you
This
go.
one's got the 75-inch TV. This one's got the swimming pool. This one's got the sauna.
Yep. Yep.
And this one is just barren. I can have my fun and do whatever I want.
Yeah, exactly. This is where I bring
you
the
guys
whores.
are fucking quiet tonight. What's going on? Let's wake up here.
Hey, we're trying to give you a chance to talk, Bucker.
Hey, you know me, man.
This is our redemption
I enjoy listening
episode,
to your
Charlie.
voices. All right, I'm gonna have to whip out a book of jokes here. Hold on.
Okay, whip out your best joke while
Okay,
we go.
you know what? No joke. When I was on this show the first time, like 3 weeks before, you had established on the show that guests would tell a joke. I had a joke ready to go, and you never asked me, and I resent you to this day for that.
He did the same thing with me. He did right before I was supposed to do Dawn of the Dead, my very first episode with them. He has Mike do a fucking rap battle, and I'm like, I better write some kind of fucking rap down about zombies just so I have it. And nothing.
This was my favorite thing in the first year, was like having people on for the first time and being like, okay, well, you know we do this thing. And clearly they don't know we do this thing. Oh, God.
Well, it's also a good way to see if anybody's listened to the show before actually being on it, right?
Yeah. And you did, Tim. So you won, buddy. You got to join the
won
show
prize.
during Bowlvember. So... Oh, God. So, yeah, they're at the tetanus factory now. And we look around and we see the guy frozen in pain, like standing there. They stumble back and we see old PG has done a little bit of artwork on the walls with fucking entrails. And
Which,
then
I mean,
Actually looks pretty cool.
That whole shot, it's still, once again, you don't know what kind of movie this is. It's
Right.
funny, but you see that and you're like, oh, fuck, these kids are fucked.
Yeah, you're like, these kids are I'm just gonna see a kid fucking killed in frame. Like I'm ready. I'm totally, let's do this.
I'm always ready for kids to be killed in movies.
Yeah, Assault on Precinct 13, buddy.
Yep.
So
Kill a kid in a movie, you already got like 9 out of the 10 points you need with me.
Kill 2 kids? Oh, buddy.
Jesus Christ.
Instant classic. So
Tim is on Rotten Tomatoes that night.
Yeah, so they Mr. PG walks out and delivers the line, is that fear that I smell? How sweet. And PG does his weird force hold thing on Luke and monologues to him about like, look, man, I'm going to kill you, right? But the sweet release of the death that I'm going to provide you with is going to be so much better than you staying around and watching your entire planet being torn asunder by me. He says, are you man? Because those other things that I killed previously, like that dude you see over there on the wall, the artwork, he called himself man. So if you're man, then, you know, we're going to go ahead and take care of you that way. And then Mimi flips. She's like, "Look, man, I'm not man. Okay, I'm woman, and
raw.
this fucking wiener over here is my brother. So you need to let him go or else." And I'm like, "Whoa, wait a minute. This is probably not the guy to be fucking with." But
she don't give a shit, man.
No,
she don't fucking care.
She's a sociopath.
You put that little girl in prison. You put her in the toughest fucking prison in America, and 2 weeks later, she's running that fucking cell block.
Yeah, she's selling your ass. So, and
for cigarettes that she doesn't even smoke.
Exactly. Just so she can get, like honey buns or something. Those are big currency, by the way, in prison.
Which is coincidentally what she's calling you.
Can you make alcohol out of a honey bun?
Anything with sugar, you can make alcohol out of.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Yeah. I'm figuring all the shit with sugar has got to be like a big thing.
And you know what? And it's bread too, so there's yeast. Yeah, okay. God damn, no wonder the currency, Tim. Good it's fucking
sugar bread.
I listen to some podcasts about prison life.
Yeah.
You never know, just in case. Got to get ready.
Tim, I don't think you have to worry if you go to prison. I think you'll be fine.
I don't know. That death force thing, you never know. Some things there's no statute of limitations on.
You got some tattoos from back when you were in Death Force that might get you.
No, see, I think I said this. I don't know if I said it on our show or some other show. I never understood the thing with gang tattoos. It's just like, why just fucking give yourself a big fucking fingerprint on your fucking forehead? Or the back with your fucking, all the tattoos are on the back of you. I have a tattoo of Dark Side of the Moon on my leg. Pink Floyd, the album.
Of course.
And like, as soon as I got that, I'm like, if I ever commit a crime, I can never wear shorts.
Yeah. Hey, it's the guy that had Dark Side of the Moon. He's the one that was buying pot. And then the cops are just like, what? We got 100 dudes reported with Dark Side of the Moon.
They're just going to respond to every head shop in the area. They're going to be like, all right,
I think he had a black velvet poster with them underneath his arm, too.
Yeah, he had a Blacklight.
Do they still make them?
Hooked up to a battery that he was running with.
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually, they
Shit, I need myself a fucking Bruce Lee Blacklight poster. Come on.
Dude, when I lived in Reno 10 years ago, there was like a used record shop, and you could sell like all sorts of crap there, if it was music related, they would buy it. Some dude came in, he goes, yeah, my grandpa died. You guys want this? And he pulled out a box of unopened Blacklight posters from like the 60s and 70s, and they were all like Zeppelin and Floyd and Bob Marley, all this shit. And they were like, yeah, and he goes, yeah, you guys can have it. I don't even want to sell it. And they were selling
the Bruce Lee one there? Because I remember I had the Bruce Lee one when I was a kid.
That was
I don't know.
All montage of all the shots from Bruce Lee.
That's kind of sick, though. I should look that up. But yeah, they were flipping them for like $50 a piece, and people were coming and buying a shit ton of them.
Oh, that's insane.
Damn, you get it home, you unroll it, and it's just a fucking blank paper with all the fuzz falling on the ground.
$50 for this? And I can't snort it?
Oh, you'll be snorting it no matter what.
Yeah, you don't really have an option.
Oh yeah, Tim, they make Blacklight Bruce Lee posters still.
All right.
There you go, Tim. So yeah, Wiener Brother gets let go immediately, almost as though Psycho Goreman didn't do it intentionally. And we see that the stone
this is like
glowing.
A real Terminator 2 moment, right?
Yeah. And he looks and he says, oh shit, that's the gem of one of those stupid names, Paradaxite, whatever. So PG picks up a barrel immediately and goes to Donkey Kong toss it at them, like you do, right? Good call. But she says, hey, knock it off and explain what's going on here, fucker. And he's like, God damn it. So he has to put the barrel down. He's like, all right, look, as long as you have that fucking gem, I have to do what you say, right? But I want you to know that once I get that gem, this shit is over. And I'm going to kill you. And I'm going to kill him. And I'm going to kill your family. And I'm going to kill everyone else after I do that. Because first I hate you. And she's like, yeah, that's cool. Let's take this old puppy here for a spin real quick, spin my brother around. So he does. He picks him up, a little force pickup thing like Vader would do, spins him around. And while he's spinning, he's like, look, I just want to remind you that you're going to suffer an unimaginable torment. And then she's like, all right, put Luke down. He's whining too much. Like, just ignoring that she's being,
Luke is a little bit dizzy, right?
Yeah, he's like, oh shit, man. Oh God. He's stumbling around and bumps into the fucking frozen guy.
Which, that is so fucking funny because that is exactly what a kid would do.
Of course, yeah. And the frozen guy just falls over. His head explodes. And Psycho Goreman's pissed. He's like, oh, motherfucker. He says, that
My
was...
masterpiece. Yes.
That was my masterpiece. And you fucked it up. The kid's like...
He's supposed to be there for all of eternity, right?
Yeah,
Feeling that fucking pain.
Yeah.
Bang, it's over.
You fucked it up for me. The kid's like, sorry, I guess, man. I don't know. And then they got to the disembodied mouth of it on the ground, and it just says, thank you.
But it's funny because he's like, you could hear the relief. He's like, thank you.
And he's like, oh, now I can die.
Yeah, and again, the special effects and the way they have it, this would be like a Fucci movie from the 80s, right?
Mm.
Or some over-the-top fucking gore fest thing.
Yeah.
Everything is chunky.
It's all chunky. It's all wet. It's all like really, but really like not trauma, like bullshitty, smashed watermelons and neon blood.
Whoa, you're supposed to use a cantaloupe. Lloyd has said that many times, sir.
Cantaloupe, yeah.
Okay,
thank you.
Because they're cheaper.
No, because they're closer in size to a human head than a watermelon.
Yeah, still ridiculous. So PG's like, God damn it. Speedy's like, all right, what's your name at least? I want to know what your name is. And he gives the little thing. He's like, I'm the Archduke of Nightmares. Mimi's like, yeah, that's a stupid name. So we're going to come up with a new name for you. Why don't you run in place for a minute? We're just going to workshop this.
Yeah. And he's just like...
It's like, fuck. This bitch has got the fucking stone. I can't tell her no. Like, I have to do it because that's the whole conceit of the movie, is because my soul is connected to this stone. That's what gave me the powers. We'll find out later on, but okay. So he's running in place. And he's bitching about it the whole time. And they're like, yeah, we got all sorts of dumb names we're going to try to come up with for you. But they eventually settle on Psycho Goreman. So Mimi's like, hey, it's Psycho Goreman. We're going to just call you PG. What do you think? He's like, I fucking hate it. She's like, that's great. Why don't you go sit down and shut up over there in that corner? We're going to go to bed. We'll come back tomorrow morning and we'll talk a little bit more. Peace. And he's like, fuck. And you just see him walk over.
Is this what she does a long goodbye?
Yeah. It's like, bye. And just trailing off. And he just walks over to this shitty fold-out metal chair. Sits down on it. Can't do shit about it. He's stuck. And already, when we were first watching this streaming, Tim, I'm already like, okay, I'm digging this.
I was into this movie within the first 5 minutes, for real.
Yeah. Yep. And then we cut to the intergalactic console.
Oh, God.
And it is the greatest collection of bleep blops and weird face monsters.
Yeah.
Yep. And rubber faces.
Don't forget, Gleep Block is one of the good ones, so
he's all right. Yeah. That's who you get the space beer from. He might be made of gas, but you can trust him. And it's just everything from that shitty cantina scene. Right? But
there is one that stands above the rest.
So we were watching this on the stream, and I'm like, oh, this is great. And then the camera just pans over, and there is the stupidest looking brain with somebody hot glued eyes on it, and it attempts to emote by them bending weird membranes that are under the brain, and it's under a dumb looking glass dome.
I have it written down. It looks like a fucking bubblegum machine.
Yeah, it looks like a bubblegum machine fucked
with
one of the
nightmare
aliens
inside of it
from Mars Attacks.
I love how his facial expressions, you can tell it's a puppet, and his teeth just suck in, you know?
The face just sucks in and folds under the rubber brain. It's the dumbest look. And when we were watching it on the stream, I fucking lost it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just couldn't not lose it at this stupid looking alien. I'm like, what the fuck is this thing?
And all I know is, thank God this movie wasn't done with CGI with that.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
it would have looked like a fucking idiot thing. It would not have been anywhere half as good as it is being a fucking puppet.
But you know what, Tim? You mentioned that with the computer effects. If you watch the effects, when I was watching it today, what they can't do with real effects, they do with like stop motion or clay backgrounds, which made the movie even better.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And like miniature shots and forced perspective things too.
Yeah.
When they're going on all the planets. And what's that big gigantic battle scene over the Hell Bridge?
There's so many of these giant battle scenes and shit that are so great that we'll get to. So, yeah, dumb brain in the jar. Fucking love that guy. And so the Intergalactic Council found out that he's awakened. And then the Templar, Pandora, who's this giant cyber angel piece of shit. We'll find out. What a
great fucking costume design, though, right?
Really good, yeah. Really great costume design. And she's like, look, we should have killed his ass, okay? And then they're all like, yeah, I mean, you probably couldn't kill him, though, because you all kind of suck. And they're like, no, I can kill him. Don't worry. Because the power of my gods. And then one of the glops is like, yeah, that's funny, gods.
Yeah, I didn't see Star Wars, so let me mouth off.
And I'm going to talk some shit to this big, crazy looking, like we all look the same, crazily.
Yes, that's
like,
right. Out of everybody in this room, she's standing head and shoulders above everybody else.
Minus brain in the jar guy. We all just look like weird, lizardy, reptilian, like frog guys or some shit. So it's like, don't do that. I'm like, don't. You're going to get in trouble. And immediately she's like, I'm sorry, what? But who was just making a comment? He's like, no, it's cool. I didn't say anything. She just walks over and starts choking him. And there's so many scenes of people just getting their shit choked in this movie. And he's like, look, you do know my people stopped this fucker before, right? And he's like, yeah, it's cool. And he just gets dropped to the floor. He's just huddling under her, kissing her feet. And at this point...
Yeah, that's right. He's licking her boots.
Yeah, literally.
You see him.
And then, so she's like, all right, dude, little guy, come in here. And the dumbest looking little fucking floating robot comes in. And I'm like, oh God, I guess I was laughing too hard the first time at the fucking stupid brain guy to notice this dude. But elevated the movie, this guy. And she's like, hey, what are the things on this planet? Humans. She's like, all right, go and get me one. Just like immediately teleports this poor woman into the room. Zoop. Tim, imagine this.
Yeah, it kind of looks like how they do in the time travel thing on the Loki episode, too.
Haven't watched it. So, Tim, imagine this. You're at home just like washing the dishes or something, right?
Yes.
All of a sudden, zip, you're there. You're looking at these gleep globs.
Mm-hmm. I think my brain would explode and they'd have to put my body into a robot.
They'd have to take the brain in the jar and they'd have to stick that in your body.
That's right, yes. Oh, maybe that would be the whole point. They blow my mind and that's how he gets a new body. But joke's on him. He didn't see this body.
Yeah. Sucks to be you, dude. You're stuck with this. So immediately she just starts screaming. Which is exactly what you do, right? Like,
this is the move.
Yeah. Like, no, rape. I don't know. Something not good.
No, fire. That's what you always got to
say. Fire. Yeah. And the Templar's like, no, it's cool. Don't panic, right? Don't be afraid. And then this light cube forms around her. And I'm like, okay, you know what? This is actually a time to be afraid. Like, I don't believe her with the don't be afraid message that's going on. And then she just compresses this light cube around her and squeezes her into a little spam.
Yes, the meat cube.
Yeah.
Which the first time I watched it, I was like, what? Because everybody was talking and I was like, she just straight up killed some random innocent person. That is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
But for me, the best part of this entire scene is where the kind gentleman next to Bubblegum Brain Guy covers his eyes, so Bubblegum Guy doesn't have to watch what was going on.
Yeah, because the Templar just grabs the cube real quick, smashes it on the table, And everybody's like, ugh. And like you said, the guy's like, don't look at that. To bubblegum brains. And then the Templar just smears the blood on her face.
I mean, I
this
think
movie just is a perfect fucking balance between horror and comedy.
I think that woman still had a chance, though, because when she pulls that meat cube out, it's throbbing like a heartbeat still. And I was like, okay, she's still okay.
Yeah, that's right. It's moving in her hand.
Yeah. I was like, okay, she might be okay still. Oh, wait. No, she's done.
Charlie, there's no coming back from that. Once you're cubed, you're fucked.
Hey, man, I don't know what space medicine
still good.
is.
It's still good.
Yeah. She had a heartbeat, Tim. That's a good sign.
That's all Charlie needs.
Oh, shit, that's right. A bunch of Republicans be fighting to keep her on life support.
Exactly.
Just need a feeding tube for the cube. But no.
Here's where I tell my Terry Schiavo joke, and then I'm out.
But
you guys are fucking quiet tonight. Come on.
I'm waiting for the Terry Schiavo joke.
Yeah,
you
where's your joke?
I told that joke already. It's a story. It's not so much a joke.
God damn it. Then here's what you don't do. If you want people to talk, Charlie, I'm going to teach you something real quick. You don't say
Here, let me hear this. Hold on.
Hey,
let's hear this.
I got a really good joke about farts.
Okay. So I got a Terry Schiavo joke. If you want to hear it, check out the Grind Bin. It's on there.
Hey, there you go. Cross promotion.
Put an asterisk on this episode. You have to listen to Grind Bin episode 214.
Everybody was equally quiet when I told the punchline. Like, they were just like, are you fucking kidding me? You can't joke about what?
Yeah.
It's time to pull the plug on that joke, maybe.
Hey-oh.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, well, I'm glad you explained it. That actually helps a lot with understanding
King Kong
what
joke
the
is
fuck
better.
you were trying to get to there, Charlie. So now she smears the blood on her mask and then starts shifting into the girl that she just killed. So you're like, oh, okay. So that wasn't just wanton and blatant disregard for life. It served a purpose.
Yeah, exactly.
Reusable.
Mm-hmm. It's a green death.
No, it was pretty red. It was pretty fucking red, Eddie.
It was very red. Oh, God. I mean, it disturbed everybody around her, too, so that's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
So now we cut to the kids, and they've invited Alistair to hang out with them. And Mimi's just describing a dream that she had, which is that she's hanging out with the president, and she's having cake, because they've declared that every day is her birthday. And she's like, then I woke up and I was pissed because I wanted to finish the cake. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong? Okay, all right. We got a level set here with this kid. No problem. And she's got Alistair carrying this like crazy old shit television. It's probably one that the mom hid from the dad because he had it in the bathroom or something. You know? She's like, we got to get him out of the bathroom. So they're bringing this all to PG. And PG's move here, his gambit that he runs, pretty good move, Tim, because she walks in. She's like, hey, PG, we brought you some stuff, man. And he's just sitting in the chair, doesn't respond. She's like, hey, are you awake, fucker? Nothing. Gets a little closer. Hey, dude, we brought you some stuff. We didn't have any porn or anything. Sorry, but we got you. I'm like, porn? These kids are gonna bring him porn? All right, that's cool.
She definitely knows where her dad is stashing the porn magazines, right?
She knows everything going on in that house.
Which,
Tim.
actually, I think it would have been funny is if later he would have made a reference to being like, where the fuck is my porn? Like, he's looking for it and he can't find it. That would have been funny.
That would have been a good move, yeah. Mm-hmm. But no, so she gets up to PG, goes to tap him on the shoulder, and he spins around real quick, and she's holding the ruby up. She's like, nah, stop. Almost
gonna happen.
Almost got me.
Good try, but no.
He does have a lot of opportunities throughout their whole movie, so maybe he likes it.
Eventually, yeah, he kind of, maybe, you know what? Game, respect, game. I think that might be what's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
So PG's pissed off. He's like, look, man, I don't want your stupid shit. Just give me the fucking ruby so I can kill you. I can kill the rest of your planet. I can go up and fuck up that Templar bitch. Like, I'm done. She's like, look, we brought you a TV. We brought you these magazines. There's Hunky Boys. And the dude that is in the magazine ad, this had to have been something that their art department put together as a joke. Because it's just like a mostly average looking dude in fairly loose jeans. And PG looks at it and he's like, no, I don't care for hunky boys. Or do I?
Such a great fucking line. Incredible.
And
fucking incredible.
The first time we watched it and I saw that, I'm like, is he going to do a thing where he shifts his appearance into a hunky boy?
No, hold on, Eddie. She named him Psycho Goreman.
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody ever said that he was actually a man, right?
That's very true, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And he has lived, man, woman, whatever. He has lived for what? Since the beginning of time? Before time started?
Mm-hmm,
he was working in the mines?
That's a good point. Yeah, we have no idea. How does a Psycho Goreman even reproduce? That's a great question. So then
And
they
is he
ask
circumcised?
How would you even
show.
circumcise him? Like, because they've tried going at him with like blades and bullets, and that doesn't even work.
Well, Eddie, I don't think you're familiar with Star Wars. They have something that's like like a laser sword.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would hope that he was circumcised before he found the gem, because, nobody's going to be circumcised after they find the gem.
Yeah, you come at me and try to fucking circumcise me after I've got that gem. Good luck.
No, that's right. And guess where I'm keeping the gem all the time? In my foreskin.
Yep. Yeah. Best of luck, motherfucker. Come over. You're going to cut what?
Mm-hmm. You would really want it.
Good luck. You better earn it. I'm just saying right now. So I like that the brother is like, can I ask you a question? He's like, fuck off. And the sister's like, no, come on. Yes. Tell him he can ask you. Fine. What? And he's like, can you tell me like what you are? Because we have no idea. So then we get to what in most normal movies is the worst part. The exposition dump. But in this movie, the way that they handle it, so
much
perfect.
fun. So much fun.
Because we just cut back to him, and apparently him and his entire race of Gore people were
before time.
Before time, yeah. We're all slaves on Gygax, and they were slaves to these Templars. And then you just hear like a gagging noise, and you're like, what the fuck? And it cuts, and it's Mimi's like, this candy I've eaten sucks. Anyhow, continue. And he's like, all right, okay, cool. Well, anyhow, one day, and we cut back to the flashback. One day I was busy pickaxing a tentacle, apparently.
Yeah, what the fuck is it? It looks like some kind of like fucking tree root.
I don't know what the fuck they're doing here. So he's pickaxing this tentacle, and then one of the guys just like zaps him real quick, just for fun. Like, bzz, get to work. You're not pickaxing the tentacle properly, I guess. He falls to the ground, and he finds this ancient artifact, the gem of whatever.
Power.
Gem of power. And it was forged before time, Tim.
Holy shit, this is mind-bending.
Yeah. And then he's just like, this is cool. It fused with him. He breaks out of his bondage. And then they start trying to shoot him again with the rays, but the rays do nothing. And then we just cut to him standing on top of a mountain of dead Templars. With
great shot.
Such a great shot. With a Templar that's been ripped in half. That he's just holding up. And he's like, look. And in his other hand, he's showing them their own religious symbol. He crushes it in front of them. And then punches them in the head. And their head explodes. And I'm like, I don't even know what the story was at this point. I don't need to.
It just ties it up so nice and neat. That's all you need to know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
There's no need for prequel where they do like 8-hour fucking backstory and where he came from and why his people were enslaved and all that shit. We found out everything that we need to know.
Tim, do you know how much I would pay for a prequel to this movie? Just an hour and a half of him zip-zapping through the fucking universe, just destroying shit.
Yeah, but see, is this lightning in a bottle? If they did make a sequel, they're gonna, of course, they're gonna throw some more money at it, because if they're gonna make a sequel, the first one made money, so they're gonna try to do it bigger and better. Then we get CGI. We don't get the bubblegum guy. We don't get the bullshit fucking green screen some of the parts, but still look good.
You know what? You're right. Maybe this is Pitch Black, and the next one will be Chronicles of Riddick.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's right. A good fucking pull.
Yeah. So then he's like, all right, so I did that, and I just decided, well, I should probably just kill all life in the universe. No reason why. Just fuck it.
Hey, did any of the life in the universe come and try to free him and his fellow people on the planet? No.
Yeah, very, very good point, Tim. So then the Templars were like, look, we got to get the universe against him. Because if it's him against the universe, we get the universe against him. They form the Galactic Alliance. They steal the gem from him, lock him away, and here you go. So then Mimi interrupts like, hey, we got the TV working. Anyhow, your story was stupid. So why don't you watch some cartoons? Learn to be more fun. We'll be back later. And he's like, what the fuck? And then the kids just dip. And he's like, but wait a minute. Electricity. They left me with a TV. A TV's got electricity. I can communicate with my homies. And I can call them to come pick me up. Like it's, I stayed too late at the party. I can't drive. Can you come pick me up?
Does he really need electricity to call out to the people? He's Psycho Goreman. He still has, even though she has the stone, he has to do what she says, but he still has powers, right?
No, he's got nothing, Tim. He was in prison before this.
No, we'll find out later, though, that he can actually reach out and touch someone remotely.
Yes, and, he could turn somebody, really test somebody's love of somebody who says that she loves him for his mind and not his body.
Yeah, that's very true. So, he touches the TV, reaches out to his people. He's like, hey, I'm on this dumb planet. You got to come pick me up. There are these two stupid meat children that fucking have me down here. One of them's got the stone. Peace. And as he does this, the TV just starts bleeding for some reason. Not explained. Whatever.
Although
there is
a
a callback
effect
to it later on in the movie, though. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So now we go back home, and Alistair came home for dinner, and of course Mimi wants to sit next to Alistair. And this dinner, like, we got to ask Dr. Chef Robbie about this one. Because the dad's got a recipe that he prepared for everybody, which is he microwaved a chicken.
Yep.
Now, I've cooked chicken, never microwaved a chicken.
You cook chicken, you might not eat all of the chicken, and then at some point later on the next day or so, you put that chicken in a microwave oven, possibly?
Yeah, you reheat it,
Yeah.
I don't know about taking a raw chicken and microwaving it.
Yeah.
But
I don't think that's going to work.
I mean, eventually, Tim, it would work, quote unquote. It would be something you could eat without dying, but I'm not eating it. So then the dad's like, so what were you kids up to? And Mimi just kicks the brother, like, don't fucking say it. And she's like, oh, we were playing guns. And the dad's like, yeah, I remember playing guns.
Oh, God.
But that was during the Iraq War. And we played for keeps. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on, stop. What the fuck is going on with this movie? Because then the mom's like,
does he have PTSD?
Shut up, you're a liar. And so I'm like, okay, so now in the universe that this movie is creating, the dad is either better at deadpan comedy than I am, which might be impossible. Because he just like dropped a joke about fighting in the Iraq War, dead serious, to this group of kids.
I mean, I don't know, Eddie. I know that you've got two children, and I know that at some point they're going to be old enough to where their friends are going to come over for dinner. And
yeah, aren't you going to fuck with those kids? Come on.
Yeah, you're going to
in the funny way, in the good way.
Them. Yeah, and just to see what happens, you're going to just say something and be absolutely fucking serious, and they're not going to.
So, I haven't told the story on the podcast yet, but there was a time that I convinced an entire elementary school that they should not eat hot dogs because they were made with worms. Now, I was in elementary school at the time, and being a curious young lad, I was reading the ingredients to hot dogs at home. And one of them is a preservative that is called earthobate, right? So me doing reverse portmanteau on it, I decided, well, it comes from the earth, and people use it as bait, earth-obate, This is a way that they're hiding that they're putting worms in the hot dogs. I knew this was not true because I made it up in my fucking dumb brain as a child. But I figured, I wonder if I could convince my friends that it's Eartho bait. So it comes around to Weenie Wrap Day at school. And we're all eating our weenie wraps, which is a hot dog that's baked in some weird bread. And
yes, that's right, because they don't trust you to eat the bread.
Yeah, exactly. So I just tell my friend, I'm like, hey, these are made with worms in them. He's like, what? I said, yeah, the hot dogs all have worms in them, but they don't tell you that because then you wouldn't eat them. They call it Eartho bait. And he's like, that's stupid. He's like, yeah, it comes from the earth.
Look it up.
Yeah, go home. If you have hot dogs, look in the package. And then everybody at my table I'm sitting at is listening. So they all go home. The ones that have hot dogs look at it, and it's made
the
with
rich
this
kids
preservative. Right. And then they start telling the other kids who start telling the other kids. By, I believe it was 2 weeks later, it was Weenie Wrap Day, and none of the kids ate their fucking weenie wraps. They all asked if there was anything else they could have. Eventually, they told the teachers it was because there were worms in them and they did not want to eat worms.
Did they trace it back to you?
No. It was never traced back to me, thank God.
Holy shit, Eddie.
Yeah.
You might want to see this. I'm looking up sodium earthobate on Wikipedia.
It's made from worms.
Tim, stop. No. Under the references is a sodium earthobate. Is it an earthworm? Question mark.
No.
From the Oregon Department of Agriculture.
Oregon?
Oh, Eddie, that fucking kid grew up. He got a government job.
On the Wikipedia page for sodium earthobate, I swear to God,
no.
It says an urban myth claims that sodium earthobate is made from ground earthworms. And yes,
Eddie,
it is the number 9. And it's from March 5, 2008.
Can we get that trending on Twitter?
All the way until 2008? Holy shit. No,
I'm looking at it on Wikipedia right now.
They legitimately had to have... They had an assembly at my school to tell the kids that it wasn't worms. Holy shit, that's on Wikipedia?
Yeah, go on there right now. It's reference number 9 under sodium earthobate.
I'm trying to conduct a podcast with some sort of professionalism right now, but at the same point, though, you have to understand that my entire body is vibrating right now because of the chaos that I have sown in this universe. This is my point, Tim. This is why I was placed here.
Yeah, hey, look, you left your mark.
Wow.
That is just
you started an urban
brilliant.
myth.
Yep. So anyhow, yeah, Dad lies about being in the Iraq War, and Luke's like, "Yeah, that's cool. I'm gonna get out of here. I want to go play video games." Mimi's like, "That's cool. I want to throw balls at you, Luke. Hey, Alistair, do you want to come out and throw balls at Luke with me?" And Alistair's like, "No, I think I want to go play video games instead."
And besides, I got this really burning question I want to ask him all by ourselves, because what would you have use of a bag of pubes for? I can't wait to find that out.
Yeah. So they go off to play video games. Mimi's feeling dejected. She goes outside, and she's sitting on the swing. And yeah, Tim, their conversation about like somebody sold somebody a bag of their pubes.
Somebody sold it, right? Somebody paid somebody else. There's a market for this.
I mean, look, patreon.com/bloodybits. If you want a bag of pubes, I'll sell them to you. I can get you a bag of pubes. That's not a problem.
No, wait a minute. Hold on.
Is that by the pound?
I wonder if that's not a reference, because remember in the late 90s, which they're playing Nintendo 64, so it's got to be at least the late 90s.
So
there was that South Park episode about selling pubes.
Scott Tenorman, one of the best episodes. Yeah. So yeah, that's the... Thanks for bringing that up, Charles. This was its 90s reference, is because one of them referred to beating a game that's not a real game, but it was name of game space 64. So it was a Nintendo 64 game, but they couldn't say the name of an official licensed game.
He said something blank game 64.
Yeah, and then the game they were playing on there looked like a shitty N64 game. But yeah, maybe Scott Tenorman Must Die, one of the best episodes of South Park. He makes him meet his own parents. It's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So she's outside, and she's like pissed. She's like, God damn it, no one to play with. And she sees the stone. She's like, I got an idea. And all of a sudden, PG comes walking up. And PG is there just to play ball with Mimi, but apparently that just means Mimi throws the ball and hits PG with it in the stomach. Like
That's what's fun, yes.
Like a crazy person. Yeah. Not like catch, just hitting him with it repeatedly. And he says, oh, and speaking of earthobait, he says, wow, this reminds me of learning worm torture. And
wow, nice callback. Holy shit.
And Mimi's like, look, I don't care about your stupid worm torture unless it can make Alistair less of a dumbass. PG's like, well, now I did once help a warlock seduce a dark moon princess. I did that with my black magic, and I could do it again if you want. And she's like, well, is it going to make him want to, play ball with me and throw balls at stupid? And just then, Alistair and Luke are walking off. She's like, you know what? Fuck it. Do it. PG's like, all right, done. Does the little zombie nod thing real quick. Mecca lecca hi, mecca hiney ho. And we cut back into the house before we see what happened, where Dad has wrecked the microwave cooking the chicken in it.
It looks like 3/4 of the chicken is left in the microwave, right?
It really does. But the microwave also looks like it's been burnt completely out. And the mom's like, what the fuck did you do? And he says,
he put it in aluminum foil to cook it faster.
Yeah, that's true. It retains the juice, Tim. He says, what did I do? I cooked a real meal. You're welcome, by the way.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
And so the mom's like, you fucking wait a minute. And she looks out the window and just runs immediately, grabs a bat and starts swinging. Because what she sees outside is that Alistair is now a brain on the ground.
This movie gets 100 times better right now, right?
Yeah. Because the brain on the... I do not know what practical effect this reminds me of. This stupid... It's like... You know what it is, actually? And I'm going to go back to Aqua Teen Hunger Force. It's when they did that live-action episode of Aqua Teen Hunger Force, where Meatwad was just a ball on the ground. It's like that, but somebody attached stupid, shitty, like, puppeteer... tentacle hands to it and big googly eyes. And that's Alistair now. But Mom...
Yeah, these are the kind of eyes that when you move, they rock back and forth.
Yeah. But Mom is less concerned about Alistair Brain and more about PG, who she just takes a swing at with a baseball bat.
And breaks
it
any
bat.
Louisville, right?
Well, it's the husband's lucky bat.
Oh, his lucky bat, and breaks the bat over him, like you said. And he looks at her like, what the fuck? I'm going to kill you. The dad runs out, jumps over Brain Kid, doesn't even pay attention to that shit, and then, like, falls down on top of Mom.
Maybe he was in the Iraq War. He fucking hops that brain like there's no tomorrow, right?
Yeah. It's a very good point. He hurdles right over it, man. And then the Psycho Goreman's like, I'm going to fucking kill you. Mimi's like, no. He's not going to kill you. He's like, no, I'm literally going to kill all of you, your entire family. Mimi's like, nah.
He says it like 5 times in a row.
Yeah, Mimi's like, nah, this dude's cool. He's all right. He's just playing. He gets in a mood and, he's a funny guy. And then he's like, no, I'm going to bathe in your fucking blood. I am going to grind on your entrails. And she's like, no, he's not going to do that. Yeah. Then we cut to a montage, Tim. And I feel like I've done a lot of talking so far. So I'll let you guys just go ahead and highlight, what are your favorite moments of the montage?
The whole fucking thing.
Yes, this is maybe the best montage ever in a fucking movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's just so much fun. Like it once again, it sets the tone for just how funny and ridiculous this movie can be. And in other parts, you're just kind of like, I thought this was a horror movie. Like, what is this?
It works fucking perfectly, though. It's a
Oh,
perfect
yeah.
balancing act between doing a fucking comedy montage with a makeover of Psycho Goreman to people getting their fucking heads exploded and fucking dismembered fucking heads all over the place every time you look around.
Yeah, nice Halloween costume. Boom. You know, it's just
Blows
it's
up
so
a child.
Another
Yep.
dead child. That's two. That's
Yep.
2 dead kids right there for Tim.
That's it. 2 for Tim. That's the
Yep,
rule.
that's why I recommended this movie.
So they're singing Rebel Yell, but it's Frig Off, Frig Yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then I've got, of course,
Was
the
that
dress
Rebel
up.
Yell?
It sounded like Rebel Yell.
And the
but
dad's on drums.
no, the dad's not on drums.
I thought
Psycho's
the dad
on
was,
drums, man.
Psycho
I thought
Goreman
the
is on
dad
drums.
was in the band.
No, by this time she kicked him out of the band like 8 times.
Yeah. No, Psycho Goreman's on the drums. The brain is on the keyboard. And I do love, that's the other moment that I have, is when they're doing Psycho Goreman's dress-up montage. The brain also has a dress-up montage where they put a stupid
come on,
little
can't
hat
leave him
on.
out.
Yeah.
No.
It's insane. And then we're messing with dad after that fact. Like, there's a box of Girl Scout cookies that he opens up, and he's like eating the cookies like a weird, like if a dog got into food it wasn't supposed to, and then Psycho Goreman's hand reaches up and just starts choking him like with magic
Through the container.
Through
He
the
goes through a
container.
dimensional portal to come out the other end and choke
Yeah.
him.
And then they like laser speed a dodgeball through the house that wrecks dad's TV, and that's when you know shit's up.
See, and again, here's why I think he might have been in the Iraq War, because this is where he loses his shit, right? He just curls up into a little ball. It's like, oh, fuck, oh, fuck, oh, fuck.
And
That's
starts crying.
PTSD.
Yes.
And then at the end of this montage, you know, you work up an appetite. So they head down to Dairy Queen, get themselves a nice burger basket. And PG just unhinges his jaw and ram jams, like breaks the plate into his mouth. And rather
Yeah, I
than
think he gets more plate in his mouth than he does food.
he really does. It's very unseemly. That's a very good point. And by the way, they're doing all of this in public, by the way. This brain walking around, Psycho Goreman walking around. This is all just...
What outfit does he have
Fine.
on now? Is this one where he has the white shirt, like the little cowboy hat on?
Yeah, that's his best outfit, by the way. The cowboy
I
outfit.
think so, yes. That
Yeah.
that really speaks to me when he wears that. I can see it.
Yep. It works. You're like, who's that guy? It's just a
I
cowboy.
don't know. I'm partial to his Dr. Alan Grant outfit, where he's got the blue denim shirt. You notice that?
Oh,
He's got the
yeah.
blue
Yeah.
denim shirt. And he's got the
it is
red
Canada,
neckerchief.
Charlie, so of course I got to get that blue denim shirt in.
But he's wearing khaki pants, Tim.
Yeah. That's true. He does have a Grant fucking outfit going on, but I don't know. The cowboy outfit works for me. There's something about the cut for him. I think it frames him well.
Mm-hmm.
So while you should be disgusted by the snake eating, Luke's like, hey, this is cool. I wish I could eat like that. I'm like, are you all right, Luke? I feel like I need to check in on multiple members of this family. And PG's like, look, on my planet, death isn't just death, but like eating, it's kind of the warrior's code. It's a death of honor if you eat the person. In fact, let me tell you about the Battle of the Bridge of Souls. And we cut to him on this like badass speeder bike. And he's like rolling down this bridge toward this weird Lovecraftian like vagina beast. And then Mimi just interrupts it immediately. Like, oh, hey, I figured out our schedule, guys. So here's what we're going to do. And I'm like, fuck, come back to the speeder bike, man. This was getting good. What's going on here?
Just a taste. That's all you needed.
That's all you needed. And so she's like, all right, we're going to bake for 6 hours. And then we're going to... And then she reaches over. And because Luke's trying to eat some of his fries, she reaches over, fry cucks him. She's like, give me your fries.
Yes, this is the turning point, right?
Yep.
Don't fuck with anybody's french fries.
Mm-hmm. Look, dude, if you've only got like 16 fries left and you planned on eating at least half of them, I don't know, man. You might get a beating. That's all I'm saying.
There's a certain level that he will go to for his sister, and that's it. She can
That's
tell him to
it.
dig his own grave. He'll do it, but don't fuck with the French fries.
Takes his fries, calls him fat too, by the way. It's like, hey, fatso, you don't need. All of a sudden, we got fucking Mimi Rickles going on here. And PG, he kind of notices. Like, interesting. So that night, Mimi's asleep, clutching the ruby, belly full of ill-gotten fries, smiling in her sleep, just pleased with herself. She's a champion after all. And Luke,
champion of the universe.
Born to be king. And Luke, well, he's shifting around a bit in his
sleep.
No,
wait, hold on. I think you're missing a good point here, too, Eddie. Is that when she's sleeping in the bed and she got a big smile on her face, the camera pans back, and there is Psycho Goreman just standing there in the corner.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm thinking, any other movie, a kid would be freaking out that there's a fucking monster in the room with them while they're trying to sleep. She knows that there's a fucking monster in the room. She probably told him to stand in the corner so she could get a better night's sleep.
Hey, watch me sleep since you can't.
Don't blink.
Yeah. By the way, you pee sitting down when you're in this house.
Between stealing the French fries and telling Psycho Goreman to sit down to pig. That's it.
Yeah. She's running this joint. But not for long, maybe, because Luke starts having a nightmare. He wakes up in his bed in the middle of a graveyard. Hats off to them. A little nod to Phantasm, by the way.
Oh, yeah. With the bed right in the cemetery.
Yeah. It's a great little reference. You get, don't get that often. Phantasm's not that deep of a cut, but it's not the mainstream series.
I think if you're in the horror, everybody knows Phantasm, but it's not like a movie. It's not like The Shining or anything like that where everybody knows about that.
It's not your Freddy. It's not your Jason. It's not even your Chucky or your Leprechaun, which, by the way, the director of this also directed Leprechaun Returns. So
from space, or is this before he goes to space?
No, this is after. This is one of the more recent Leprechaun movies. He didn't write it. He just directed it. So
okay.
So, yeah. Then all of a sudden, Psycho Goreman shows up, rips the head off of this zombie that's coming up out of the ground, and he says, "Hey, dude, what's going on, buddy? We're in the nightmare realm now, and I can communicate with you here. See, because I'm the whole Archduke of Nightmares. I know you guys named me Psycho Goreman, but and I can talk to you here without her hearing us." And immediately, so now there's this power dynamic, right? Where he has to hide to talk to Luke. So that because if the girl hears it, he's afraid of that.
He's
pretty good. Yeah, on the sly. He says, "Listen, if you help me out here, right, I might consider sparing you when I eventually get the gem. So you just give me the gem, and I might consider sparing you." And Luke's like, "I don't know, man. I can't betray Mimi, but she is a psychopath." And Psycho Goreman's like, "Look, she would not spare you, right? Like
no. She's been trying to kill him since the beginning of the fucking movie."
Yeah, she's got a ball, by the way, that we didn't bring up to begin with.
Oh, that's right. The Luke Kill ball, or
whatever the Luke Killer ball, which is just a ball that she's stuck there's the head of a tack hammer in it. It's got
a gigantic screw. It looks like a fucking box cutter.
Yeah, it's got a box cutter and shit. She made a device specifically to kill her brother with, and she carries it with her wherever she goes.
And she named it.
Yeah, she named it the Luke Killer.
These should be what are they called? Oh, red flags.
Yeah, that's one of those abusing animals, starting fires, creating.
Maybe she killed Grandma.
Oh,
and that's why they had to bury her in the backyard.
Holy shit.
And that's why everybody's afraid of her, because they know. They just can't pin it on her.
Luke is haunted by it, like the Hello Kitty murder. Do you guys ever hear about that?
No, what is that?
What the fuck is that?
Oh, this is a fun one. Okay, so there was this 13-year-old girl in China, right? And she came in and she's like, tells the cops, I'm haunted. And then they're like, "That's weird. Why are you haunted?" And she's like, "Oh, because I helped these gangsters torture a girl to death. And then they're like, that's probably not cool. Where? And she's like, this place. Here, I'll point it out on a map.
I think we're losing something with the subtitle translation here, but go ahead, Eddie.
I'm very good at telling stories, Tim. So they're all like, where? And she's like, this place. I'll take you there. So they get there. They open the door to this apartment. And it fucking reeks in this apartment. Not where she's staying. This is a different apartment. And it fucking reeks. And they're like, this sucks. This place smells like a dead thing. And she's like, yeah, like I said, we tortured this girl to death. And they're like, cool. They look around and they see the head of a Hello Kitty plush animal in it. And that's about it. And they're like, that's weird. We should probably like look at this because it might be a clue or something.
Could be a clue, yes.
They
because
get
it's
it.
the only Hello Kitty in all of China, so it's probably important.
It's probably a knockoff, I would say. If it's in China, it's a knockoff Hello Kitty. It's like a welcome feline. It's not a Hello Kitty. So they get the welcome feline, and they're like, the stitching on it's not great. They open the stitching up, and there's a skull inside of it. The people that just tortured and killed this broad just decided like it would probably be funny, you know, if we just took her head and stitched it inside of this Hello Kitty head.
Wow.
And they never really found the rest of her body, and the girl's like completely severely fucked up in her brain. So yeah, that's the Hello Kitty killing. And there's a really good description of all the torture they do to the girl. You can look that up too. So
damn,
wow.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so I'm thinking like Mimi's family is traumatized, and maybe Luke is haunted by what Mimi did to Grandma, and that's why he keeps bringing it up, you know?
Jesus Christ, he killed her with the fucking Grandma Kill Ball.
Yeah. Oh, shit. They had to bury the Grandma Kill Ball. Now they're playing Crazy Ball. That's what keeps her preoccupied, is making up all these bullshit rules for this game so that she doesn't actually kill Luke with the Luke Kill Ball.
Yeah, this little girl, she'd be, if they ever redid that Twilight Zone episode with Billy Mumsy, where he sends everybody to the cornfield,
yeah,
she would be a perfect fucking replacement for him.
Oh, she could be his granddaughter.
It would have been done in 5 minutes because she would have just sent everybody to the cornfield immediately.
That's true, yes.
And then, yeah, she'd be done with it. Like, so, yeah, Mimi the psychopath. We can't betray her, but she'd never spare him. So he says, look, if you give me the gem, then we'll both be free of her madness. You get it? Because I'll kill her, and then I don't have to fucking deal with her. And Luke's like, yeah, I can't. I just can't do that.
He oversold it. He pushed too hard.
He did. He did.
Just give me the gem, and I'm out. That's it.
Yeah. And PG's like, all right, well, I guess you're stronger than I thought. And Luke's like, all right, well, now what? PG's like, well, we got to wait for your dream, Nan. We're just kind of, you know, stuck here until that's over with. So they just kind of sit on the bed and wait.
Now,
and I like the
curious,
zombie
what
that's
was
like
the
flailing.
next dream? Go ahead, Charlie.
Well, I was gonna say there's like that zombie flailing on the ground while they're just kind of sitting there, like, no, give it a few minutes.
Yeah,
It would have been nice if this is like what in the 90s. If all of a sudden the dreams like switch to a rat video and you see all these fucking chicks in bikinis dancing around.
Well, then it's no longer a nightmare. So I don't think Psycho Goreman has any domain over wet dreams.
Ah, so he'd be kicked out of the wet dream.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right. See, good to know.
Not sure who has reign over the wet dreams. It's got to be like Sticky Hardman or something. You don't want to hang out with Sticky Hardman, Tim. Much different set of powers.
Wouldn't it be Slender Man? Could it be Chubby Man?
Chubby Man. Hey, even better. That's why I have you on the show, buddy. So now we cut to the next day, and it's Mimi explaining the rules of Crazy Ball to Psycho Goreman in the brain, and they're all just standing in a field. Or glopping in a field in case of brain. I don't know. So
I think he's trailing like a snail, right?
Yeah.
He's leaving that trail behind him.
He does, because he leaves and you see a fucking gross-ass trail. But anyhow, the cops show up because there's a monster in a brain with a little girl in the middle of a field, which, sure. They thought he was black. It was a big to-do. So they just start fucking blasting.
They pull up and act like he's black, right?
They start shooting.
Because they just start blasting, right?
One guy's like, "Hey, hold on." The other cop's like, "There's no time. Shoot."
Yeah, hold on. I'm not prepared to shoot. And he does the cool Wonder Woman like bracers thing where he just deflects all the bullets, pew, pew, pew. And then he looks back at the kids and he's like, fuck, I should have just let you get hit by those bullets. I guess that would have been a better idea.
Technically he could have done it, right? That wouldn't have been killing her.
It would, yeah, exactly. He just had to stand there and be lazy like the dad. But no, he looks at the cops. He's like, all right, so you guys, you're the protectors of this realm. Really? Cool. Walks up, grabs one of the cops' guns, and the practical effects that are used here to melt. We've got a simultaneous, like, peeking at the Ark of the Covenant and gun hand from Videodrome going on.
Mm-hmm. Just melds right into him.
Yeah. These just tentacles snake through his veins and meld into this cop's body while his face just bulges and melts. And again with the eyes, they love doing eye effects, man.
Well, if you know how to do it, it plays, right? Because that's fucked up. Eyes and anything underneath your fingernails are always fucking messed up.
Oh yeah. So this cop is fucked up now. He can't talk. Like, I think his tongue might be melted to the side of his mouth. Like, it just
reminds me of RoboCop after he gets all the toxic waste and he's like, help me, save me, so, and they're just kind of like, there's no coming back.
Yeah, it looks more like Toxic Avenger, though.
Mm-hmm. It's the perfect, once again, melding of like 80s horror in a 90s movie. 90s-ish.
What's just incredible is here comes a new character that's introduced. We'll have him not for the rest of the movie. Yeah, well, for the rest of the movie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just every time they introduce a new character, they're just fucking incredible.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So, by the way, little behind the scenes on this here, the person who played that cop, Robert Homer, also was the star of a short that was made by the same writer-director, Steve Kostansky. The short was called BioCop, and it's a fake trailer about a mutated cop who cannot die and looks like a weird, melted cop. So this is a little nod to a previous thing.
Okay, nice.
The writer-director did.
See, that's why you get that fucking Blu-ray with all those fucking extras on it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you get a bunch of cool stuff on those Blu-rays, man. Again, like with the 4K stuff, you're right. If it's not meant to be 4K, that sucks. But I love the behind-the-scenes shit,
Mm-hmm.
Like, all of that is so great. Especially, like, Reanimators has got a great one. Oh, man. Just, all those things. So, fucked up cop. PG leads fucked up cop over. And his buddy runs away. He's like, fuck this. I'm out of here. And he's like, go tell your partners what happened here. So, you guys can just go fuck off and quit bothering me. I got my own shit going on here. Anyhow, PG leads fucked up cop over to Mimi and says, all right, here's another one for your stupid game. I'm out. I don't want to play. So Mimi's like, all right, so here's how we play
all over again. Yeah.
I got to, damn it. And so she's like, all right, so you get it, right? You get the rules of the game. And the fucked up cop's like, oh, yeah. And PG's like, he doesn't actually understand that. He's just like saying what you want to hear. And then
a smart move, right?
Yeah. And then Mimi catches Alistair is leaving. Alistair brain. And we have a little moment between Mimi and Alistair. Which, oh God. So she runs to catch up with him. And she's like, hey, is everything all right? It seems like something's bothering you. And she reaches down and touches him, and then I guess he can communicate with her psychically by touch, is the note that I have, because he doesn't have a mouth.
Yes, this is the first time we hear him talking. Or, projecting his voice.
Right, because you hear like, and then you get the subtitles. And he's like, yeah, I'm cool, but you think I'm ever going to be normal again?
Please?
Please?
Send me to the cornfield?
Yeah. And Mimi's like, nah, but that's all right. And gives him a kiss.
Yeah. So he got his just first the way kiss. You are.
She loves him for his brain, not his body.
Yeah. So she's done a lot of growing since her hunky boys. She's abandoned such childish things and gave them to Psycho Goreman. So good for her. So
Psycho confused man.
yeah, or maybe not confused. Well, no, he was confused at first. Maybe I do, maybe I don't.
Well, at the end, he's going to find out he does.
That's true, yeah. So we cut to the woods where Mimi's explaining the F word to Psycho Goreman. It's like, look, you can say frig, you can say go frig yourself, you can frig off, call somebody a mother frigger. Tim, I mean, as our resident, like, F word expert and enthusiast here, her command of the F word, where do you put it?
I mean, for a kid, she's got good discipline, right? Obviously, she's never heard the word fuck because she lives in Canada. I don't think they say it up there. Or if they say it up there, they probably say it with some weird French accent, so she probably can't get it, like, fuck.
Yeah. Oh, if only this was not... This is one thing. Almost better than kids dying in movies is kids cussing in movies.
Fucking
yeah, but again, this plays. Usually you're right. That always bothered me because I remember when I was a kid, and I'm probably when we were all kids, we cursed, right? Maybe not to the extent I did, where it stuck with me for 53 years almost. But when you're a kid, you curse, right? You motherfucker, fuck, shit, cocksucker. Well, maybe, no, fuck those asshole kids. Curse.
Oh, yeah. Eddie, you make a good point. There was a Canadian show about 10 years ago called The Yard. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It was on, not Tubi, it was on Hulu for a while. And the premise was it was a documentary style show, but it was a comedy show about kids in an elementary school environment. And it basically boiled down to elementary school is more like a prison than you realize. There's trade lines, there's somebody who can get you anything you want. There's rivaling factions. There's all sorts of
Playboys.
Shit. No, they don't deal like that. They deal in black market peanut butter and jelly sandwiches because peanut butter is outlawed. And, they start getting kids hooked on peanut butter and then they start wanting to be responsible. So they start dealing EpiPens with peanut butter and jelly sandwiches to the kids who are allergic. But it's funny because these
fucking marketing.
Well, these kids, they have a very adult attitude. So they're very much like adult prisoners, but as children. And this movie kind of is along those same lines. Kids who are more like adults than the adults are, and it's a very funny swap.
Interesting. I gotta check that out. The Yard. That sounds good.
It only lasted for about 5 episodes, but it's fucking hilarious.
That's how it always goes, man. They cancel the good shit way too soon.
And it's Canadian too.
Yeah. Yeah. So I love that the next thing that happens is that Melted Cop hands Mimi a heart note. And she opens it up and it just says, "Kill me, please. Yes, no." And she's got to circle one,
For all his herky-jerky movement, he really fucking printed that nicely, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. It's better than my fucking handwriting. And Mimi is pissed off. She's like, "You fuckers are supposed to be writing me love letters of endless adoration, and you give me this shit?" And so PG's like, "What? What the fuck are you talking about? What's love?"
Well, no, it is done so campy in any other movie. We've seen it a million other times, and any kind of Star Trek or any science fiction thing where the robot or the alien looks at somebody and goes, "What is love?" I think it was probably even a line in Galaxina.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. What is love? And so they try to explain love to him. Luke does. And he's like, it's like the warm, like a fuzzy feeling you get inside of yourself about another person. And PG's like, "Oh, you mean like if you rip the spine out of a dude and you show it to his family?" And Luke's like, No, that's not what I was saying. Mimi's like,
hear the women lament.
Yeah, you have to hear the lamentations of the women, exactly. And Mimi's like, "Well, it doesn't matter because love's fucking stupid anyway." Luke's like, "Oh yeah, love's so stupid. I thought you loved Alistair, right?"
Ooh, wrong thing to say.
But he's getting, he's growing a pair a little bit here.
Yeah, they're dropping. That's what it is.
Dropping a little bit. One of them dropped. And Mimi's not fucking liking this. She's like, no, Luke, you need to shut the fuck up because Alistair is just a friend that I'm going to marry. And then we're going to argue all the time like mom and dad. And I'm like, wow, that actually is love.
That's a pretty deep cut. Yeah, right?
She gets it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, but also, I don't like your tone. So, APG, kill Luke.
You know what? Alistair is kind of like a dad, lazy, right? He just wants to come over the house, eat dinner, play games, video games, and then when like the real physical sports start, he's out of there.
Yeah, boom, I'm not going to throw balls at your brother. I'm going to go play video games. So talk about selling pubes, you know? Like regular guy shit. So Psycho Goreman just starts choking out Luke. And then she's like, never mind, I changed my mind. Don't.
Yeah, it's a good thing he didn't fucking like just lob his head off, right?
Yeah, just zoom, you know. And that's the thing is like you're seeing exactly how fucking psychotic the girl is. Because he could have just...
Well, no, Psycho needs him, right? So this is a little bit like here's the proof of the pudding.
Mm-hmm. So, meanwhile, the whole time this is happening, the melted cop is like trying to blow his own fucking brains out.
And I love when he's pulling the trigger and the kids just keep ducking at the sound.
Yep.
Oh, totally God. Reminds me of Trailer Park Boys. With the
just
gun
randomly
fights.
Hearing shots going off.
Yeah, it's pow, and they're like, move out of the way. Anyhow, that was really rude what you said. You hurt my pow. Goddamn, because the cop is just popping off random shots everywhere, just like they do, you know?
Yeah.
So then Templar materializes as the human that she killed in front of the police department. She walks in, and there's Vince, the partner of the melted cop, and he's ranting like a madman about it. He's like, look, this fucking dude, I don't know where the fuck he came from. He melted my friend. I don't know what the hell to do. We gotta like go kill him or whatever. Templar's like, hey, y'all in here, the cops. Years ago, there was an eternal evil that was buried here. And recently it has been unearthed and reawakened. I'm just curious, right? Top of your head, have you seen him? And the guy's like, I like the bearded guy, the old guy up front. It's like, well, you're going to have to be a little more specific. Because
it's a little vague.
We have a lot of unearthed ancient evils here in Canada. So you got like a height or something. And the dude Vince is like, I know where he is. And I don't know what the Templar's move is with this dude, because she walks over, puts her hand on his head, and like fire starts shooting behind his eyes. And it's like, she's like reading his mind, I guess?
She's doing a mind meld.
Oh, okay.
To the extreme.
Mm-hmm.
You think the guy's okay after the mind meld? Or you think this might like cause a problem?
I think he probably got promoted to captain.
Eddie, I don't think any of those guys are around after this, because can she really risk Psycho Goreman finding out that she's in town? And
that's a good point.
Then seeing that?
Yeah, that's a good point. You got to eliminate these guys.
Because we don't see another cop actually for the rest of the movie.
Probably for the bad. We might see one in that semi-post credit stuff, but I don't. No, we don't. Well, damn.
But to be fair, in the post credits, when they're on the news, you just see firefighters because he stepped into that void. So
right. So we go back to the woods, and finally, PG's running crew shows up, and again with the creature design.
Which one's your favorite?
I mean,
all of them.
My favorite, personally, is the washing machine.
Yes, the tub of fucking flesh.
So we've got like a weird-ass necromancer witch broad with bug eyes. We've got what I've described as, and this is a D&D thing, we've got like a dryad, which is made out of old dried sticks and twigs.
Is that the one with the tombstone on his back?
No, that's the one with the rose, right? Then you've got Tombstone back that's got the weird like concrete blocks that they keep trying to do stuff with.
I think his power is he pulls tombstones out of the air.
Pepperoni and sausage, too. And the other one is a guy with a crown on his head. And so PG's like, finally, guys, buddies.
What about the Annabelle motherfucking bitch?
Oh, yeah, that one, too. They never really name them. Oh, come on. We also forgot Cassius 3000, the copper pirate with a copper parrot.
Never trust a guy with the fucking robot parrot.
Never. So all his homies show up. He's like, oh, thank God, you guys are here. Finally. Cool. All right. And Mimi's like, hey, these are friends? Is you going to introduce me, dog? He's like, great, yeah. So, guys, this is Mimi and the boy. And Luke's like, I don't even know my name. Motherfucker.
You were in my dream, motherfucker. How do you not know my name?
I'm supposed to side with you? You suck. He goes, anyhow, yeah, these kids have the gem, so just go ahead and kill them. Get the gem. We'll out of here. Take care of the Templars. Do the whole thing. And his homies are like, yeah, no, man. Turns out things are better without you. You see, because, you know the fifth move on Gygax? Well, we made a deal with the Templars. They gave it to us. And what we do is every week, we all change who's in charge of it. So like last week, Cassius 3000 was in charge. This week I am. That's why I have this cool crown. You can kind of see it on my head. And no, we're actually not going to help you out. We're going to kill you is what we're going to do because we're cool. And PG's like, you piece of shit. You made a deal with those fuckers after we busted out of being slaves from them fuckers? After all this shit, you made a deal with the Templars. So now you're their bitch, is basically what this is, right? They gave you some piece of shit land, and that crown right there, all that represents is how stupid you are.
Doesn't he also come up with the line? Oh, wait, no, that's later on. Sorry, go ahead.
Right. So they're all like, yeah, we're going to just kill you. So that's cool. And PG raises his fist, and Mimi says, no, stop. Look, I'm a little butthurt with you, PG, because you told them to kill me. So you know what? You're just going to stand there and you're going to take a beating. And I'm like, holy shit.
Well, yeah, I'm sorry. I just remember at some point, doesn't he say, like, this is what I get for collecting the worst scum in the universe, and they portray me like this?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's when he says exactly that, yeah, Cassius, I expected this from you. But
yeah, that's right. You motherfucking robot. I never trusted you.
Never fucking trusted you at all.
He kind of looks like, what? Me? Yeah, you're right.
Like me? And then he looks at the parrot. The parrot, like, kind of...
I'm built this way. What can I do?
Yeah. It's what I was built to do, buddy. I don't know what to tell you. So they all decide they're going to kill PG. And they start beating his ass. And again, much like the playing of the fucking crazy ball, at first it looks crazy, like they're really fucking him up. But then they cut and you see it from a different angle, and it just looks like a bunch of people in rubber suits beating up a guy with rubber swords and shit. It just looks so dumb.
Power Rangers.
Exactly. The music that was there made me think it was Power Rangers, which would have been a great 90s reference.
Exactly, yeah. And the best part is the stupid washing machine thing just walks up.
Is it pissing on him?
I guess, because it's got two little nozzles in it that it just starts spraying blood on him. And it's clearly doing nothing, right? Like, it's just bleeding on him. And Mimi's like, as he's getting his ass beat, like, oh, are you sorry? Are you sorry, PG? Are you sorry now? Why don't you apologize? And he says, nah. And she's like, all right, fine. I mean, they're going to beat your ass, whatever. Like, I'm cool. I'm just going to chill out over here, and I'm going to have a little sandwich with my brother. In fact, here, Luke, let's get into our snacks. They're like eating a Twinkie and watching him get his ass beat. And he's like, all right, fine, I'm sorry. And they're like, yeah, come on. That was not an apology. I wanted you to mean an apology. So she's like, fuck this. You know what? I'm out of here. You suck. You can just get your ass beat and die. See ya. And they just start walking off. And PG's like, oh, God, all right, fine. Look, I am genuinely sorry that I told these assholes that I now hate to kill you. And she's like, all right, cool. Well, and she does her own little Power Ranger move. She spins around. The gem kind of glows for a second. And she's like, get him. And he fucking does.
Tables turned.
Tables are definitely turned because he, like, first things first, just punches through the washing machine and it, like, spills its guts. It's dead. The voodoo looking one with the weird staff, like, voodoos his head off. And he just, like, shoves it, like, he recapitates himself, I guess.
Oh, yeah, almost pulls it right the fuck off.
Yeah. And then he's like, you piece of shit. So he just smacks her and grabs the stick from her and turns her into just a head, which rolls down. Mimi kicks it. Get this thing out of here. Done. Good tag team on it, you know. Then he rips open the weird wood broad's chest, gets the rose out, and it's all like, oh, no, don't, just, you know, don't kill me. And he crushes this rose and the dryad
nice
thing.
touch to have the rose inside the chest, right?
Yeah, yeah. And the dryad-looking thing falls apart. He grabs the copper pirate and holds his head down and shows him this little puddle of water. He says, look at it. Look at your own fucking dark reflection. And see that the true, you know, enemy, the true villain here is you, and it's your own nature that has got you here. And the hand just reaches up and grabs the copper.
Whoa. So the monster is really the monster?
Wow, yeah. That's a good point, Tim. But it rips his face off, so that's cool. And then we're left only with his buddy with the crown on the ground. And his buddy with the crown on the ground is kind of shuffling back, and he's like, nah, man, look, don't kill me. Look, you can have the crown. Like, we can just chill. We can be homies on the
It was a joke.
I was just kidding, man. Just, it's all good. Don't worry about it. And PG's like, look, you're bitching out on me right now. So you know what? You're a cool guy. I'm going to eat you.
You deserve a warrior's death.
Yeah.
And I love how quickly he goes, wait, no, not that.
Like, whoa, wait a minute. And all of a sudden you get the sense of this whole warrior's death thing. This might just be Psycho Goreman's thing. I don't know if this is any culture's thing except for him.
Well,
I think this is something he invented himself. And this is something he just tells himself to feel better at night.
I don't know. I mean, haven't you ever heard of like some of these like warriors throughout history, or like generals who are like all about getting in the shit? They all have some of that crazy mentality of, oh yeah, that's great. And then you're like, wait, no, you know, like one of them said, oh, we're surrounded. Great. Got him where we want him. Usually that's not where you want to be, but okay.
I remember the desert
what the fuck
fox.
else you going to say in that situation, Charlie?
Yeah. I remember the
Game
desert
over,
fox
man. Game
commonly
over.
ate people.
Gotta start
learning.
I surrender in German. That's what you gotta start learning.
I think Grant used to eat people. Yeah, a lot of warriors would just typically eat their opponents as a sign of respect, you know.
Gandhi used to fuck people up.
Yeah,
Gandhi wasn't eating nobody, Tim.
No, at the end of the fast.
Yeah,
you kidding me? So that was on Gandhi too, though. That's the revenge. You have to watch the sequel. So
Ben
after
Kingsley
the battle,
would be in that movie today if you paid him enough.
That's true. We find out poor PG is dying.
He got stuck.
It turns out that in the last battle that they had, they must have kept some of PG's blood and used it to
cursed it.
Yeah, they cursed his blood and put it on their weapons.
Wait, how do we know that's what happened? How do we know he's not faking this?
Ooh, good question.
The long game. Okay, I like it.
I mean, we've seen him do it before when he just refused to respond to the girl.
Yeah, and he did try to grab it out of her hands a couple of times, right? So he's not above anything.
Yeah, he came close a couple of times. But that's cool, because we go back home to Dad, and he's got a new TV. He's chilling. Mom comes in. He's like, hey.
Such a great exchange.
He's like, hey, sweetie, I'm going to have to take a few weeks off of work. because of the hand that I hurt in the first act of this movie. And
presumably weeks ago.
So you're going to need to take a few extra shifts at the pharmacy.
To help pay off the TV. That's the fucking kicker. That's the fucking kicker.
To help pay off my new TV. I love this dude. And she says, look, you lazy shit. No. With so much disdain. No. I'm fucking not going to because you're late. And he does not want to hear that. Lazy? How dare you? How dare you call me lazy? And she says, great. What do you do?
Well, no. Hold on. No. Yes. Part.
Okay, go ahead, Tim.
Go ahead, Charlie. Do it.
How he said, my parents called me lazy. My teachers called me lazy. But you, I never expected you to call me that. And I love it because he's such a piece of shit who refuses to take responsibility for himself.
Yeah.
Well, that's why he hates the word so much, because he's heard it his whole life, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Stalker, that's just a made-up word the police use. So, it's like... And then one of the best smash cuts I've seen in a movie. We cut to him in the bathroom having a fantasy, I'll tell you who was never boss argument.
Oh, yeah, he's on a rant.
He's like, I never fucking do anything. I'll tell you who never fucking does anything because me, here's something you don't. And he's just going over his entire...
I have a BA in what did he say? In English literature.
Yeah, a BA in English lit. How lazy you got to be to get that, huh? And then
sit around and read books.
Yeah, the laziest degree. So he's having this fucking fantasy argument on the toilet. And meanwhile, he just sees this little speck of light just moving in.
A little Tinkerbell, right?
Yeah, little Tinkerbell moves up in front of him. He's like, wait a minute. Yeah, and by the way, I'm not lazy. I deserve that tea. What the? And he kind of reaches out to poke it. And then it pops up this giant hologram skull of Psycho Goreman. And he's just like, find me, or you'll all die. And the dad's like, oh, shit. Falls off of the toilet. The skull thing vanishes. He's like, fuck. Oh, God. It's like, but wait, where are you? And then the skull just pops back up and it's like, look, man, I'm out at like the intersection of Duke and 45th. And then it vanishes. And he's like, fuck, how do I get to that intersection? And he's like, look, man, he pops back up. All right, look, you get out in your car. You're going to go down a ways. You take a right at the Flying J. Once you're there, you go down about another 13 miles. You're going to see old Bill's truck stop over there. You go past that a ways, but like a ways, you're going to go over a bump and then a bigger bump, and it's there. And then he vanished.
This is before GPS, so it was a pain in the ass to get directions.
That's true. But to the credit of the dad, like he asked for directions, he got it, and he shows up.
And he remembers it.
Yeah, because we just cut to him in the truck, and they're loading old Psycho Goreman in the back seat. Or in the back of the truck, which is awesome. And
he asks him, after he puts him in the truck, he goes, am I lazy?
Yeah. He's like, do you think I'm
Psycho,
lazy?
do you think I'm lazy?
Psycho's like, I don't want to talk right now. And then Mimi's like, look, I got to load my wagon in, Psycho. Can you, like, scoot over a little bit? I know you're dying. I know literally the reason that we're here is to rescue you from dying. But, look, I got to put my wagon in here, man. So can you just, like, squeeze a cheek out the way? Cool. And then they just, like, bump the wagon into him. Thunk. All right. Good to go. Pack up. Drive off. And then we see somebody from that battle made it, though, Tim.
Thank God. Used all of her strength, right?
Mm-hmm. Everything that she could. The beheaded Wishmaster.
Worked her way out of the woods as she got her head kicked into. Yep. Got on the fucking highway and started heading in the right direction, by the way, too.
Yeah, yeah. Going the right way on the highway. And then they just run her over. Just plop. Don't even know she's there. Cool.
But again, it's such a great fucking joke.
Of course, yeah.
With the head being rolled over, that's funny.
There, it's great. So then we go home, where Mom is having a conversation with the Templar, and they roll up. The girl's like, "Who the fuck is that?
Who's that skirt?
Who's the skirt?" Yeah. Oh, I love it. Skirt. That's up there with broad, man. One of my favorite terms. Who's the skirt?
Yeah, and she was wearing a fucking pantsuit too. That made no sense, but
Well, I don't know. It's just the way she rolls, buddy. So the Templar's like, "Look, get the kids away from that thing, racist."
Is she though? Because she's black.
Well, that's true, but I think that in the fiction, the Templars are the dominant race over whatever PG is. So, I don't know. I need to learn more about critical race theory, I think. If only they taught that in school.
Oh, no. That will never be taught on our podcast at all. I think there's a law that's just got passed.
I think critical race theory is when you talk about all the races and you criticize them. You're like,
no,
well...
I think what critical race theory is just a way to find out who's racist by who's complaining about it.
That's a very good point. You just say, we're going to teach critical race theory. Fuck that. Do you even know what it is? No.
Yes, you.
Done. You, get out of here. That's a very good point, Tim. Oh, God. So, yeah. And then PG's just like, all right, drop the act there, sweet tits. Show these humans your real face. You know, the face that's going to be enslaving them into eternal servitude. And
well,
the
yeah,
dad,
because whenever you get a fucking religious zealot takeover, guess what happens?
Yeah, and the dad pops off. He's like, hey, endless servitude. That sounds like being married to Susan.
Oh, man.
Dad's got jokes, man. I love this.
Just any chance that he can. Now that he's got a little taste of it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's got to. He's gotta.
Tim, you wouldn't throw one out like that. That's a good one.
It is a good one. It's one of those things where it's worth putting up with like the silent treatment for a day or two, getting the cold shoulder, sleeping together in the bed. It's just too good of an opportunity to pass up.
Pretty good. It's pretty good timing. So Mimi's like, all right, here's the deal. I got a plan. Luke, you go out there, you beat the shit out of the Templar. PG's like, nah, she will end you. And Luke's like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that. And Mimi's like, all right, bitch, go out there and beat the Templar's ass. And he's like, no, you know what? For once, I'm fucking standing up for myself. I'm out of here. And Luke dips out and sides with Mom and the Templar. And he's like, look.
Little mama's boy.
Yeah, I stood up for myself.
Mommy,
dearest. And so the mom, Susan's like, all right, so Dad, here's the deal. All you got to do today is your favorite thing. Just be lazy.
You lazy motherfucker. There's the laziest thing you could ever do in your life. Just lazy your way out of that fucking car.
Just lazy out of the car. Go sit in your recliner, pop on your Xbox, play a little Subnautica, maybe have a couple edibles or something. Just chill.
Maybe he's doing edibles this whole movie. That's why he's like that.
Don't worry about editing the podcast. You'll get around to it. You'll get to it. It doesn't have to be out until Tuesday. And you've been killing it lately. You know, the last episode, the Candace Files one, was a good one. Had a lot of fun.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Just don't worry.
We solved the Mothman mystery.
And so Dad's like, hey, you want to see how lazy I am? Check this out. And then he just drives off. Like,
he's getting all his shots in.
Oh, I was waiting for him to go bye as he drove off.
Honks at her, honk, 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 and then flips her off. I'm done. Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're going to do it, go big, right? Like, don't just throw one out there. Throw them all out there.
Hey, look, you know, she can only give you the silent treatment for so long.
That's true. So we're back at the warehouse. Dad, PG, and Mimi are chatting it up. PG's like, look, man, I'm going to die. So So here's the deal. I need the gem. Mimi's like, cool, but like you're going to kill me and you're going to kill everybody. And he's like, no, I totally won't kill you guys.
Pinky promise?
At all. And Mimi's like, I don't know. So Dad hulks up, right? He's like, look, come over here. I'm going to give you some...
God, this fucking story, right?
This is
what could have happened
story.
to Chris Mann on the grind bin, right?
Exactly. It's such a great... Again, there are these moments in this movie that feel like they're from another movie. And you're like, what the fuck is going on here? And it's just jarring enough, and it just hangs in the air to the right degree, and then we move on, and it's
like the Christmas Story in Gremlins 2.
Yes, exactly. Oh my God, Tim, nailed it. So Dad pulls her aside. He's like, look, I'm stupid, right? And I'm lazy, but I do have some dad smarts. And I'm going to give you a little dad advice right now. And if either of you have it and you want to do the story, please.
I know the general gist of it because it was just so ridiculous it stuck out of my mind. Tim, do you have it written or no?
I have a very vague reference to it, but go ahead, Charlie.
Yeah. He says, when I was in school, there was a creepy guy who lived in a van out on the street, and he asked me if I wanted to get in his van and look at his pristine collection of baseball cards. And I said yes. And I got in his van, and he showed me his pristine collection of baseball cards.
Yeah.
And the moral was, I'm glad that I trusted that weird guy in the van. So trust. Go with your instincts.
Yeah.
It's the greatest horrible parenting advice ever. It's like that Simpsons episode when Homer thinks back to being a kid and his dad gives him advice on the first day of school. And he says, if a strange man in a car offers you a ride, I say take it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. He got into the fucking van and they were real baseball cards. That's like a fucking Mr. Show fucking sketch, right?
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, he took me in the back of his van and he showed me his big collection of pristine cards. And I had a lot of fun because I trusted a creepy weirdo. It's perfect.
Yeah.
I'm like, is that fun to see a collection of whatever?
If you're in
cool.
the baseball cards.
It's just like people who make bad decisions their entire life and face absolutely no repercussion for it and just keep floating through life going, yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Get married, have 2 kids and a house and at least 1 car.
Yeah.
Like this guy does.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, yeah, he's living the dream. He doesn't have to work. He can just injure his hand.
Plus, the wife was working
off.
double shift at the pharmacy, so she can pick up some extra oxy.
Oh, dude, and this is Canada. They don't give a fuck about that. Like, they're not regulating any of that shit. They're just having a good old time up there with their...
Especially in the 90s? Come on.
Yeah, this is socialized healthcare, man. Anything goes. So, back at home, speaking of just getting free access to whatever the fuck you want to put in your body, our buddy the Templar is mixing up this weird-ass potion. And she's like, you know what? Here's the problem. I let that fucker live because I wanted him to suffer forever. And I'm not going to make that mistake again. Hold on, I'm a little uncomfortable here. And then she whoosh, and then turns into her cool robot angel form. And the mom and Luke are like, wow, that's pretty dope. You look pretty cool. And she's like, yeah, that's cool.
Mom is digging it.
Yeah. And she's like, that's cool. Hey, Mom, why don't you drink this? And Mom's like, all right, yeah, bottoms up, whatever.
Trusting that weird stranger.
Exactly. Trusting the weird stranger.
Shit. Well, she gets a bad taste of it, yeah, but...
Yeah. Well, sometimes you trust the weird stranger. You left with a bad taste in your mouth.
Well, see, here's the thing is, trust the weird stranger with the baseball cards, don't trust the weird stranger with religion.
Yeah, with religion.
Or the one asking you to drink something.
Exactly, you're slipping something.
Oh, yeah, and a religion? Oh, my God. Yes. At the very best, it's the blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she starts gagging on this shit that she drank. And Luke's like, hey, is it gross or something? I'm like, what's wrong? So then now we cut back to the cool Universal Council, and they're just watching Hollow video and eating these bluegills, which just look like somebody dyed a bunch of spaghetti noodles blue.
No, they are unbroken noodles.
Yes, I was just about to say. I mean,
nobody cut them in half.
Right.
Yeah. Tim Yobo is not in space.
They're not primitives. They are advanced. They've mastered faster than light travel.
No, Eddie, hold on, because they think they're smarter than they are. Because in the beginning of the movie, when we first see the council, they make a point of saying, like, they can't believe that somebody figured out the code to open it up, that somebody could have the intelligence on the same level that they do. And she just went beep, boop, bop, beep, and opened it up. So I say, they're not as smart as they think they are.
Well, she got lucky. So, a broken watch is right twice a day, Tim. But if you break your noodles, if you break your noodles, you're never right. So
you don't break them, crack them.
Oh, okay. So you crack them without breaking them, Tim. That's a good point. Thank you for delineating.
It's a much more satisfying sound
between those two things. So Mimi's like, all right, look, I'm at my lowest, right? We're at the end of the second act, so the stakes are as high as possible. I need to go to my office and I need to get some advice. So she goes back into this back room of the warehouse, and there's a, old Jeezy Creasy up on the crucifix, hanging on the wall.
Oh, I love this.
Mm-hmm. She walks in there and she gets down on her knees, and she's not like really religious. You don't get the idea,
Hell
and she
no,
says,
there's no way this kid's religious.
And she says as much. She's like, look, man, like, I know I'm not really a good person. Like, I've been fucking up. But I really could use one, is all. You know what I'm saying? And maybe you give me one here. Maybe I'll start being a little better. Right? Not perfect, because I'm not going to be like you. I can't be perfect, but maybe you give me one, right? Which of these shades do you think I should be wearing? Because the world's about to end, and I got these ones, and I got the... she's like, psych, I'm going to wear the leopard ones. And by the way,
I knew it all along.
Yeah, I knew it all along. And but what am I talking to you for anymore, by the way? There's a new god in town. It's PG. And she grabs the cross off of the wall and fucking snaps it in half.
Yep.
She's like, peace. And then walks out the room. And I fell on the floor. I was so happy.
It's just, like I said, the movie just keeps getting better and better and better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's going to offend you no matter what, and then you're going to have a good fucking time.
Yeah. I mean, first you got The Exorcist with that whole crucifix scene. We don't need to repeat.
Yes, that's true. Not the worst thing a young girl has done to a crucifix in a movie. This is true.
Mm-hmm. But then this, yeah, I mean, hats off. Good job. So she goes back over to PG. She's like, all right, I'm going to cut you a deal here. You get the gym. But you got to promise you're not going to kill me. He's like, all right, I won't kill you. She's like, cool. And my family. It's like, sure, and your family. She's like, great. Dad, get over here with my backpack. I'm going to give him the thing. And she's like rifling around. And Dad's like, hey, what about everybody else on Earth? And she's like, yeah, what about everybody else on Earth? Oops-a-doodle. I guess we fucked that one up. He's like,
and the father's just like, yeah, oops.
He's like, what? Okay. I mean,
it's going to take too much energy to ask us the second time, so just forget it, right?
Yeah, I guess nobody else needs to be alive.
I had
Whatever.
My chance.
I mean, look, it worked for Moses, right? So we then Pandora pops in, and Mom pops in a Pandora suit, but it looks like she went to Spirit Halloween and got a Pandora suit.
It looks like she's trying to do a Doc Ock type thing too, right?
Yeah, she's got a little bit of that. She's got like the wing laser beam things, but it just looks like a shittier version of Pandora's suit, which makes sense, right? Because it's for one scene in the movie. Like, I
well,
get
no,
it.
because Pandora is like high up there. She's like a bishop, right?
Well, Well, to be fair, Pandora's suit doesn't look that good, but that's what I like about the movie is that
Yeah.
nothing looks like it's perfect. It all looks like it was done on the cheap. You know, you got the clay, you got the miniatures, you got all that shit, but that's why it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, see, I think her fucking design is incredible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And
But
it looks incredible. I don't think it looks cheap. It doesn't look cheesy at all. It looks really, really good.
Right, but to Charlie's point, like for most of the monsters, you see the seams that are holding it together. Like PG clearly is the exception. I would say his suit is
the best,
probably the best, and of course because he's in every scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where you're putting your money.
But then there's a precipitous drop off once you start getting to, I don't know, the brain in the jar guy.
No,
what do we have left over in this box?
Eddie. That's fucking great. You're gonna remember that guy for the rest of your life, right?
Of course. And here's the thing: is because it comes off as camp. Like the line that they have to do here, and it's so difficult, is making it work as cheesy without coming off as insulting or annoying.
Yep.
And they do it. So, I mean, that's the best you can hope for, right? They did what they set out to do.
It's a hard fucking line to walk.
Yeah. I mean, comedy is already impossible to write.
Then you add a musical act into the fucking movie, right?
Yeah. And then
just like really, like we don't have enough shit going on. Let's throw a fucking little montage to a fucking video song.
And then put that in horror. That's a lot. You're asking a lot. And then throw in retro, cheesy, big, dumb rubber suit shit, but make it not look terrible. It's,
You're asking the impossible here. You know, but they get it to happen.
They thread that needle, for sure. So, all of a sudden, now, shit is going bad, right? Luke has the gem. He stole it from Mimi. Mimi rushes for Luke. Mom stops her. And Dad is like, I wish I could help, but I'm too damn lazy, I guess.
He won't let it go.
Yeah.
She really hit a sore spot.
But to be fair, this actually saves the day because it pisses Mom off and she rushes Dad.
Mm-hmm.
So then Pandora goes off after Psycho Goreman. Mom is firing lasers at Dad like she wants to fucking kill him. Right?
Yep.
We'll go to therapy if you still want.
Oh, yeah, exactly. He's like, look, I'll forgive you if you stop right now.
Which, I mean, come on, guys. Have we or have we not been in an argument or a disagreement with our significant others, and we all make that mistake of just doing one of those passive-aggressive, well, I know it's your fault, and I'll forgive you, but I need something from you. You know?
You just
and how well does that work?
Yeah, you just think you got it. You think you got the fucking thing on lock, and you do not.
Well, what I do...
Next thing you know, they're shooting lasers at you.
Let me tell you, when my girlfriend gets mad at me, no shit, I can make her laugh, and the minute she knows that I'm I'm gunning for that, she's like, I'm mad at you, and she walks away, so I will not make her laugh, because the minute I do that, it's over. I don't say anything, I just look at her and smile.
Well, no, Charlie, that's a win-win.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you make her laugh, that's it, she's not mad at you anymore, and everything's good. And if you don't, she gets up and leaves you alone.
I don't know about that, Tim. I think she's even more mad because she's laughing now. And she's supposed to be angry.
Ah, that's right. It's like tickling.
Yeah.
But Tim, by the way, I'm not going to watch that tickling documentary.
Watch that fucking tickling documentary, man. It goes places. Talk about a fucking rabbit hole with the where it starts, where you think it's going, and where it fucking ends up is just incredible.
They're tickling rabbit holes?
That's not what they're tickling.
Erotic tickling?
I'm good, Tim.
Have you seen it, Charlie?
No, I haven't, but you have alluded to it a lot.
Yeah, it
sticks with you, man.
It's on the Yobo Gold list.
I think somebody else in the Grind Bin Discord was talking about it one time, like 6 months ago. It's not my thing.
It's just about this journalist who randomly comes across something on the internet about these teenage boys who are all over 18 years old who get tied up and just being tickled, and that's it. There's no sex or anything else,
Like
and
for
it's
money?
just this website that just sells these clips and makes it, and he wants to get to the bottom of who is making these clips, what's going on with it, and it's just where he ends up is just incredible.
So wait, they just get tickled for money?
Yes, that's it. Yeah, and it's all like these, and he's trying to interview like all these. He's trying to track down all the guys in the video, and none of them want to talk. So they fucking sign like NDAs, and the other one's like, I don't want to say anything about it because you're gonna think it's gay porn, but it's not gay porn. I just got tickled, and that was it. I got $500. It's really an incredible documentary.
It's interesting you mentioned that because I watched a documentary, and so this was like 10 years ago or so. It was a Vice documentary back when they were a little bit more like in depth, and it wasn't like just like crazy shit. But they went into, it was in London. It was like in Soho, London. They found out that there was like this guy who was paying like teenage boys who were like 18 to 20 money to like stomp on his face. Like that's what he wanted. And if you had like really nasty feet, he wanted you to like rub him all over his face. And it became almost a rite of passage for like these teen boys to just, hey, I need $500. Let me go rub my feet on this guy's face for an hour and I'll get $500. There was no sex. They were all clothed. And yeah, and like it started with like internet videos, and they got to the bottom of it and they figured it out. And it basically came out as, yeah, it's this old pervert in the neighborhood. He doesn't really hurt anybody. If you need money, go over there.
Just kind of thing. In the face.
No, not even kick him. Just he wants you to rub your feet like on his face, and he would lay on the ground. He would do it like in like a parking garage, or he'd come to your house, or you'd go to his house.
Wow, that's extra kinky. Doing it outside. Ooh.
Yeah, it was like weird shit. And they actually showed some dude. Like, let me tell you, it looked like he walked like 10 miles barefoot before he got to this dude's house, and it was like, holy shit.
Yeah, that guy got paid extra. You know what?
Yeah.
Look, man, they're adults. They're not hurting anybody. I don't give a fuck. Like,
yeah.
Good on them.
You're consenting, and hey, give me money. We're good. This is a transaction.
You need money. That guy needs to have his face dominated by stinky teen feet that are of age. So fuck it.
Yeah.
All right. So no, this isn't a tickle thing, Tim. What happens is then Mimi has Luke pinned down and is like, give me the fucking ruby back or I'm going to fucking kill you. And she pulls
literally,
out
because she has the kill ball out, right?
the Luke killer. And Luke's like, goddamn, I guess Dad was right, huh? I guess humans really are the monsters. Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun.
And you're one of them.
You're the worst one.
The worst, yeah. Then, opposite them, Psycho Goreman, he's got the weird Templar broad, has a gold circle around him, like a smushy thing that she did with the human.
Mm-hmm.
And Psycho Goreman, yeah, gonna turn him into a Psycho Cube Man. And he's like, shit, quick thinking. Oh, hey, Templar code. I get to ask for one last competition with you because you're gonna kill me, and that's Templar code. So you have to do it.
And what, like any other religious person, when they get called on it, what does he say? Yeah, well, the Bible says a lot of things.
Like, look, man, there's a lot of things in Templar code. Like, it's up to interpretation. Yeah. And he's like, no. You don't got a hair on your ass if you don't fucking do it. So we're going to do this, right? She's like, God damn it. Yeah, I guess so. So she lets him out of the barrier. And he just yells, Mimi. Sorry, Mimi. You decide the contest. And of course, it's Crazy Ball, right? How else do you end the movie?
Of course.
It's 3-on-3. We've got Dad PG, right? And they and Mimi, and they're on Team Hero, and the rest are on Team Suck, right? So the rules of the game, the stakes, if you will, are if Team Hero wins, they get the gem, and if Team Hero loses, then Team Suck gets PG. Cool. So that's how it ends, is with these idiots in rubber suits throwing balls at each other.
Brilliant.
Butt bonuses all over the place.
Butt bonuses, yep. And then we get the
I liked because at one point there's a point where the Templar just like looks at the mother and just like shrugs and like, what the fuck is going on?
And the mother's like, I don't fucking know. I don't know. She's insane. You deal with her. She's a fucking
But
maniac.
she's mine.
But then Luke lobs the ball, Mimi throws the ball, and they bang against each other. It's the switcheroo,
motherfuckers.
folks. And they're standing face to face, toe to toe, ready to head off. And Luke just starts throwing balls over at Mimi and screaming at her like, you made me eat my sandcastle. And she's like, what? That now it's forever. It's with you forever, right?
You'll never get that sand out of your bowels.
It's there forever. And he's like, I was sick. I had to be out of school for 2 fucking weeks.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, you're welcome. By the way, you didn't have to go to school. And then at the end of it, they face off for the, you got to do the punchies thing, right? Mimi runs up, gut shots Luke. Right, and it looks rough. Like,
Yeah, he
hats
folds.
off to the kid acting on this one, by the way. Oh, and I meant to bring this up because this was the fun little scene where we cut to one of our stuntmen. They show the dad running, and then they just cut to the stuntman does like this fucking crazy front flip.
Oh yeah, it's like a fucking parkour twist or something like that, right?
And then the dad lands it. Like,
see, I told you, man, he was really in the shit in Iraq.
We're to believe that was the dad, but it's just hats off to that stuntman. So good for him.
Mm-hmm.
He was a SEAL.
Yeah, and so it's over, right? They won. And everybody's
High
cheering.
five.
The fucking high five with PG is the best. So dad runs up, high five, jumping high fives PG. PG's like, right, I'm not going to leave you hanging, bro, right? I'm going to bump it. Snaps his fucking wrist, just like nothing.
And what's crazy is he doesn't really react the way you would think that somebody would, where like the bone is sticking out of the skin,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yes. Yeah, it is fucked.
And this is Mr. I can't go to work because I got a paper cut.
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of undersells the fucking actual hand getting almost ripped
like,
off.
Hey, man, shock will do a lot of things to your body.
True.
That's right.
So then Pandora, they go up to them and they're like, look, we won. Pandora's like, yeah, I really don't care. I'm still going to kill PG. We're the church. We just do what we want. You get that, right?
You thought you had an election.
Yeah, you've heard of horseshoe theory, right? Like eventually good goes so far that it curves back into being evil, right? Like you get that. So she goes to swing the sword down on him, and Mimi gets in between them. And then Mom sees that, and she's like, nope. Pops up, blocks it with her shitty armor. And Mimi's like, look, Luke, you got to give me this gem here. Mom's like trying to hold off, but, she's Mom, so she kind of sucks. So you got to give me the gem. And Luke's like, no, you're insane. And by the way, you should probably apologize to me for all the shit you've done my entire life, how you've been the worst person ever, and just,
constantly trying to kill me.
Trying to kill me as little as 5 minutes ago. And like a true psychopath, rather than apologize, Mimi just starts singing. And we have a slow, just loving rendition of the Frig Off song. And PG looks at the dad and says, is this what love is? And the dad's like, yeah, you dumb bitch. Just start singing along. Meanwhile, Mom and Pandora still fighting this whole time, right? And Luke's like, all right, cool. I guess because you started singing and we've all realized the power of love, I'll chuck the gem to you because it seems as though maybe PG has learned something here. They gets the gem and Pandora's like, all right, I'm going to take your powers away, Mom, because I could do that. I should have done that a minute ago, but to service the story, it's better for me to do it right now. He says, you don't deserve those powers, pulls the powers away from her, and then she goes, Pandora, to kill Mom and Dad and Luke, but oh shit, PG's got the gem.
He's back, baby.
Yeah, and he just stops her. He's zhunk, does the little force grabby thing with her ass. And she says, look, I mean, that's cool, little parlor tricks here you got, but I got this holy blade, right? You're not going to stop me as long as I got this holy blade. You got no blade. You don't got shit. I mean, you got your gem, whatever.
Wrong thing to say, man. Never challenge him.
Yeah. He's like, oh,
He's a
I
real
need
DIY guy.
Yeah, I need a holy blade, right? Well, you're pretty holy, right? You're about to get holier. And he just starts riddicking around her. Just zip, zop, and zooping around. Rips out her spine, rips out her eye, rips out like her hip bone, connected to the leg bone, connected to the
wing bone.
Everything. He's just ripping shit out of her. And cut to, she's not looking good, by the way. This isn't feeling good for her. But we cut to him, and he's just made this giant-ass fucking claymore out of her parts. And he's like, hey, look what I found. I got this thing. Let's do this, you know? And she says, look, you are not going to stand between me and my holy destiny. And Tim, he looks at her, and what does he say?
Go ahead, what?
Frig off.
Oh, is this where he does the frig off thing? Yes.
Yeah.
See, it would have been better if he said frig you, because when she's teaching him that, she's like, frig you is like the worst thing that you could say.
Yeah. True.
But, you know, he's new.
And so now we kind of
But the song was Frig Off, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
the song
and
was
that's why.
Frig Off.
And the song made him feel love, so that's why he said Frig Off.
Ah, now he's feeling the love. Gotcha.
This movie's Call Me Boo Boo Kitty Fuck. So they're having their battle in the background, but more importantly, Mimi saddles up next to her brother and is like, look, I'm not going to say it, right? And then zing, zing, you hear the battle going on in the background, but who cares? She's like, I'm not going to say it, but then she knocks out in Morse code. Yeah, I'm sorry. So they hug it out, and again, the battle's just raging on in the background, but we got past the whole like lead up to the killing blows stuff anyway, so who cares? Because PG's doing good, but he sees something that pisses him off.
This is it. He's turning up to an 11 now.
Now, he's been at 11 for a minute, but now he's turning it up to, I don't know what's past 11:30 or whatever.
Yeah, that's past 11.
Because he looks down at the ground, and Tim, what has she done to his hunky boys?
It's such a great line delivery with that fucking voice where he's just like, not my hunky boys.
Because the magazine is like ripped a little, and it's on that stupid jeans model guy picture. And he just rages even harder.
That's obviously his favorite one, if it's open to that part, right?
Dude, still. Yeah. He saw something that clicked. What are you going to do? It's when it's love, it's love. What are you going to do? You know? And he busts her holy sword. Pandora's like, looks over at the family as he's about to kill her ass. And is like, you have no idea what you've done, fuckers. This whole universe is doomed now. And Mimi's like, oh, thanks. Cool. Fuck this universe. It kind of sucks. Just so you know. You haven't been here for a while, but it does suck.
And she's a psychopath, so what does she care?
And yeah, she's insane. So Pandora's like, okay, cool. Just, you know what? Kill me. And he's like, I mean, I'm going to, but, you know, the suffering doesn't end there. You're going to suffer in the afterlife as well. I've been there. I've seen what it's like. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and just grant you one last courtesy. A warrior's death. And by the way, my name is Psycho Goreman. And then I love that Luke is like, we should probably go. I've been here. I've seen this whole thing go down. And Dad's like, what do you mean? What's the problem? And yeah, so
he's dry heaving and kind of like gagging as they're walking out.
Not into this thing. It's pretty gross. So
and again, as soon as he says warrior's death, she just starts screaming no. So
like,
everybody knows that this is his go-to move.
No. This is not good. I don't like this. And so they start leaving, and the dad's like, "Hey, did you guys know this used to be a shoe factory?"
And he says, "I remember when this was a shoe factory."
Yeah, I remember this used to be a shoe factory. Cool. And they're like, "What?" All right, Dad. Nice. And PG walks by and is like, "Hey, we're good. I'm totally not gonna kill you anyway." And by the way, Mimi,
Well,
here's that.
he is going to kill them in one way or the other, right? Because if he kills everybody else on the planet,
I mean, he won't do it directly, but yeah.
He's doing that workaround shit.
Right. So he's like, and I don't need this thing anymore, this gem, because you know what?
The power was in me the whole time.
Yeah. At the end of the day, the friendships that we made along the way, they were the real gem. And he gives it to her, and he's like, by the way, I've also found the power of love. Aww. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to go and destroy galaxies, and
because it's what I love to do.
Yeah, just take care of my shit. And so Mimi's like, all right, that's cool. Go fuck shit up. Have a good one. And blows him a kiss. And he reaches up, grabs the kiss, and holds it to his chest real quick. Opens up a portal. And you just see some major city. He just walks through it and just starts wrecking shit. He's like, goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. Goodbye, Mimi. Goodbye, Dad's name. Goodbye, Mom. Goodbye, boy. And he's like, fuck, he still doesn't know my name. What an asshole. And the dad's like, wow, we really learned a lot today, huh? And then he just kind of stares off into the distance. And the mom's like, yeah, I think he's in shock or something. He probably needs to go to the hospital for real, actually. So we'll just do that. And then we cut to some breaking news on the TV.
About a purple giant.
Mm-hmm.
About a purple giant who's kaiju-sized wrecking cities. And I feel like people would be more concerned if they saw this on the news than just having dinner.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is that family watching TV?
I mean, maybe.
Does
maybe
anybody
have
really
this background noise.
Does anybody really watch the news like that? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
most people just put it on and it's like, whatever.
Yeah, but purple giant fucking shit up. Guess what? I'm getting an alert on my iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
What, Alistair's dad, who looks like Chef Robbie?
He does look like Chef Robbie. Oh. And by the way, yeah, this is Alistair's family. So if you were wondering what happened to Alistair, it's okay. He got home. He's doing fine. Because he just slimes his way over, jumps up into his seat, and stupidly starts trying to eat dinner. And we hold on this scene of this dumb brain puppet trying to eat for an insane amount of time.
At least 2.5 minutes, right?
Yeah. As we're listening to some great song. And then we cut to the Intergalactic Council. And they're watching the giant kaiju Psycho Goreman destroy the Earth. And they're like, fuck. Well,
he doesn't know where we are, right?
I mean, he knows how to find us, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anybody got any other brilliant ideas here? So they're like, oh yeah, Gleep Glop's got a great idea, actually. He's got a plan B. And what's plan B?
What, fucking police officers 38 special from 1970?
Yeah, it's a 70s 38 snub nose that they just plop on the table. And they're like, all right, so who's going to kill themselves first?
That's just the best way, in honesty, because he's going to get you, and it's not going to be pleasant.
So they all start
but maybe
raising.
He can do a Thanos. He can bring you back and then kill you again.
Oh, that's true. You never know. Now he's got the gem. He could do whatever the fuck he wants, man. And that's where we zoom out, is on all the alien council raising their hands to volunteer to be first to kill themselves before Psycho Goreman finds them.
Yeah, I think Charlie's right. Probably a better move.
Yeah. I'd roll the dice.
But would that little bullet kill some of those people there? I mean, Brain Guy. Come on. All you gotta do is just break his fucking dome.
Yeah, Brain Guy's just gotta fall, and he's done.
Yeah.
But there's that guy who looks like he has fucking 18 noses or ears all over his fucking face. I don't know. That bullet might not go in.
Some of them look like they're made of chitins. Like it's, I don't know. They're gonna need something a little stronger than a 38 snub.
But you know what? The ones who can kill themselves, it's not their problem if the other ones can't.
It's true.
Oh well.
It's very true.
That's true. All right. Yeah.
You know what? At the end of the day, you got to give it a shot.
There you go.
Boy.
So, of course, we all recommend the movie.
Oh God, yes.
100%. It's the perfect movie to put on in the background, too, if you're not paying attention to much shit. And if you want to stream a movie with just a group of people to just be fucking around talking shit and peeking in at it and having a good time, perfect for that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also a great movie just to have on, like, while you're fucking around the house. Because, like, after you watch it a time or two, just like this little snippet here. Oh, here's the part where they're doing the fucking the drum song with Psycho Goreman. Here's the part where the fucking heads are getting smashed. It's a great fucking movie.
Yeah, it really reminds me of back in the day when you would like pop on like the Sci-Fi Channel or something, and a good flick would come on, and you're like, yeah, it's like 2/3 of the way into it, but you know what? I could pick it up from here, no problem.
Oh yeah, and you know, so far, Eddie, I don't think that you have streamed a bad movie. Because, like you said, this was one where you said, "Oh no, this is going to take precedence over what we're streaming originally."
Mm-hmm.
You did Drone recently, which that was
man.
fucking brilliant.
Drone was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. Like
we're gonna have to cover that one day.
Like Drone, no shit. The husband and wife are like the mother and dad before they had their fucking kids. That's exactly
really
what they are.
Yeah. I could see that. I could totally see that. So yeah, if you enjoy Psycho Goreman and you want to watch something else in that vein, Drone, that's definitely a good suggestion. I'd definitely say it's not in the vein, but if you just enjoy kind of like practical effects in this stylistic like modern retroism, check out The Void that the writer director did. Really, really good shit.
Yeah, I like that movie.
Tim, anything else you would say in the same kind of feeling as a Psycho Goreman you would recommend to people?
I can't think of anything because, like I said before, it's really a hard thing to fucking pull off what this movie did. I mean, I can tell you good funny movies, I can tell you good scary movies, but a movie that blends it like this, it's really hard. Except for like maybe Scary Movie 3.
Yeah, that or you get like a Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, Shaun of the Dead, but. Even though I don't think it got as serious as fucking gory as this movie does at some point.
No, it wasn't as gory as this. It was more serious than this. I would say it wasn't as funny and over the top campy. The other one I would say in this venue is Deathgasm. That's maybe the only other one.
What about what is that? Willy's Wonderland.
Oh yeah,
that would be a good double feature.
Yeah, if you like this one, you like Willy's Wonderland, and if you don't like,
yeah, but that's just got like a sprinkling of humor in it. It's not like let's split this fucking movie almost 50-50 with
that's
what's going on.
But that's the thing, Tim. That movie doesn't take itself seriously.
Right.
Just much like this one. It didn't take itself seriously. It wasn't pretending to be something that it wasn't, and you still had a good time.
I'll put it this way: Willy's Wonderland is hard-dicked Goreman. That's what it is.
Oh shit!
Yep.
High praise from Eddie.
Oh yeah, Willy's Wonderland, 100% on the hard-dicked list. So, Charlie, is there anything on the internet you want people to pay attention to?
I mean, there's a lot of things I wish they wouldn't pay attention to that they do pay attention to, but I mean, like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, it's a fair point.
Those snuff films, they gotta get watched somehow.
Somebody's got to be watching.
Somebody's got to watch and to find out they're snuff films.
And somebody's got to watch those kids getting tickled and pay for it. I mean, come on.
Yeah, Tim.
You know, fuck you, Tim. I watched one Italian movie with erotic lactation, and you come at me with tickling films?
Yeah.
Fuck you,
It's
Tim.
a documentary.
Yeah, who's to say mine is not a documentary?
As far as I know, all the boys are alive. None of them are dead, okay?
Yeah.
I did not see one dead erotic lactation. And I feel disgusted I have to even say that.
Not to mention the erotic lactation was
disgusted
all
and disappointed.
Simulated.
Yes.
Tim just likes it to be real. So, Tim, is there anything you want people to pay attention to on the internet?
No, just our show, right?
Just
follow
our
us on
show.
Twitter.
Yep.
Oh,
We don't have a Facebook thing, right? We don't have Instagram.
We do
so
actually
just follow us on
have
Twitter or
Facebook.
like us on iTunes. That's a big thing.
Yeah, like us on iTunes. We do have a Facebook. You can probably find it, but who cares about Facebook? Hit us up, patreon.com/bloodybits. If you want to hear more content like this, want to dial into our weird ass blood bank, which is right now over 1,500, but I just got sent some spurious multiple terabyte hard drive with a bunch of files ripped on it that I'm going to be adding to it, and God knows what's on it. So,
oh boy.
Yeah, hopefully I don't end up on a list.
That was Steve, wasn't it?
That was Steve. Yeah, our buddy Steve, and I make fun of him, but Steve's a good dude. I'm sure there's.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest.
Sure that there's nothing too bad on it.
There's nothing as bad as, say, like a Wild Beasts on it.
Let me tell you, I've been looking forward to that because Steve has been telling me for months that he was filling it up, and he's like, I'm going to send it to Eddie. It's going to be really good. So I'm really looking forward to that one.
It's going to be coming. Let me tell you. I'll tweet about it on at Eddie the Axe is my regular Twitter for me. If you want to see my weird tweets about England and wife beating. Other than that, though, folks, I think there's not a lot left to say, so this is how we end it.